Welcome to ALR once again, and we are here for silver, day 2 of our ALR extravaganza, and it is the Canadian Grand Prix on the St. Lawrence Seaway, I think it is, isn't it? Well, I've been calling that anyway, but I gotta say, I think I just make up stuff as I go along, really, so yeah, it could not... It might even not be at the St. Lawrence Seaway, but there we go. Anyway, I just make it up as I go along, and that is that then. The track layout is just in front of us right now. It is a 14-turn course, it's 2.7 miles long, and of course we got a lap record around here, which is set by our silver admin actually, which is Dan Murphy at 09.959. Is that going to be broken tonight? We'll find out. And this was actually Pillars' last ever Grand Prix victory in LR before he jumped to gold, didn't he, for a couple of races then, but which was unfortunately I didn't go too well, did it, for Pillars, but yeah, this was his last race win in a silver, and this is where the championship really changed last season. And could it change again here tonight? Could it change again here this season? We'll find out, won't we? Murphy got pole position last season as well in a very wet qualifying section, which I think was actually Dan Murphy's last pole position in all of the ALR competitions as well. So he is having a lot of gremlins, isn't he, in qualifying at this moment in time, isn't it? Anyway, enough about the track history. Let's get on with the championship, shall we? As I'll just make sure that I'm in spectator mode. Indeed, I am. Right. So Troy leads the championship, 12 points in front of Gamer, who is second. Then, of course, Gamer missed that Monaco Grand Prix, and then that's when Troy took the lead there. Wilson had an outstanding season thus far. He is in third position. Cirrus Mushroom then up in the fourth, and he celebrated 50 Grand Prix last summer. We'll talk more about that in just a jiffy. The bronze world champion, or former bronze world champion, dropping down 2 positions in fifth position. Steve and Nigel and Curly Red all dropping down 1 position as well. Sean Hammers and Welsh Maldonado completes the top 10. Baz moving up 3 positions. He's now up until 11th position. Payne's it with an incredible Grand Prix win last summer, and he is now on 21 points then. Good stuff indeed then. Of course, Payne's had a -4, had a 5-point deduction, didn't he? So he started on -4 from gold then, which he brought over, didn't they? In the constructors' standings, it is as like this. Mercedes are leading 6 points in front of Renault. Renault had a great season in both gold and gold and silver, I should say. Red Bull are in third position now, 81 points behind Renault, 87 points behind the Mercedes team. Williams have doubled their position. They've gone from 8th to 4th. Fantastic stuff. That win from Payne has really elevated them up the constructors. Ferrari in 5th position. There it's so close between Williams, Ferrari, McLaren, and the Haas team as well, and it is about 20 points separates those 3 constructors. Incredible stuff indeed, isn't it? And it's a lovely sunny day as well here in Montreal. What do you expect now? It's a beautiful place, isn't it, to be? Ferrari in 5th position, McLaren in 6th, 1 point behind Ferrari. Haas are 13 points back from McLaren. Alfa Romeo have dropped down to 8th position now, 4 points away. Alpha Tauri are 11 points back from Alfa Romeo, and Racing Point have got some points on the board for the first time this season, courtesy of BP. Right then, that is my that's my little script done and dusted then. So now I can talk about whatever I want, which is absolutely great stuff. But before I do so, let's check the comments, shall we? As we have got, a couple of comments there coming in as well. Diashi is first on the comments tonight. Good stuff indeed, Diashi. Then can you be first on the track as well? Then for Diashi at the moment, unfortunately, the form book is not smiling. It's not smiling on Diashi at the moment. Then, but remember, he's incredible. He's got skill, hasn't he, Diashi? Has we have seen that in brilliant driving techniques as well from Diashi. Remember Singapore last season, remember the Dutch Grand Prix this season, and how he absolutely nailed the strategy, but unfortunately it was just a couple of laps too long, wasn't it? And just shows that how difficult it is to go from hero to zero in such little time, isn't it? Around this course, around Formula One, which is a big shame as well, and very disappointing. And Bradfield is retired from the Session. Talking to Diashi is coming out on circuit as well, and the Sebastian Vettel style helmet as well. Look at that. The pit exit then was extended, wasn't it, back in around the 2000 era? I can't remember if it was 2001, 2, 3, perhaps. It is around that year, wasn't it? But yeah, the pit lane now bypasses up one and comes at the exit of turn 2 as well. They used to be feeding out just after the start line, didn't it? And Frentzen and Schumacher came to blows there, and Frentzen flipped the bird to the second-time world champion Michael Schumacher. Look at the grandstands there, full of the fans there, full of the joys of spring as well, which I was reliably informed on the last broadcast. So the spring is on the 28th of March then. Great stuff indeed then. It's, you do learn something new every week when you're commentating in ALR. Just watching Diash then coming through the hairpin as well. Car 27 then, and of course 27 is quite synonymous around here because of Gilles Villeneuve, and one of the best F1 drivers not to win a world championship. I definitely say he is, and it's also some of the famous pictures from the late 70s and early 80s where Villeneuve was manhandling that Ferrari around the circuit. Was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? I think it was the Dutch Grand Prix, wasn't it, where he had a puncture and then he just continued to drive around, didn't he? And it completely ripped off the back end of the car, didn't it? And he was like doing a wheelie down the straight, wasn't he? Fantastic. Also the French Grand Prix as well. I think it was between René Arnoux, wasn't it, and Gilles Villeneuve. That was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? Them banging wheels. That's what Formula 1's all about. Absolutely enjoyed that one. Of course, it was the Renault 1-2 as well at the time, and then Gilles Villeneuve really was really doing an absolutely outstanding job. Wasn't it the 78, 79 French Grand Prix, perhaps? It's a bit before my time, to be honest, believe it or not, as I do look like I am a bit of a silver fox kind of thing, or maybe more like a silver surfer, really, as I don't know what I'm doing on the interweb either, even though I am an IT guy. Diashi coming out of the hairpin as well. Of course, in this modern day in history, then we do have the last Canadian world champion was Jacques Villeneuve, wasn't he? In the 1997 season, when I think it was the last season, well, Renault was supplying the Williams engines, wasn't it, before they went to Mechachrome in '98. Diashi coming up to the line, he goes fastest at the moment, and as he starts us off then. Washman out on the circuit as well. So is Troy at the moment, as he is just trying to get some tires, some tire temperature as well. Nigel has good fond memories of this Grand Prix as well, doesn't he? He made his debut in ALR season 1, didn't he? And he really burst on the scene, didn't he? And he won his first ever Grand Prix as well. Really ruffled the feathers of the early pace setter Jochen in ALR history there. And of course, Nigel was the first ever ALR world champion as well, which of course is absolutely great. It's actually a great achievement as well. He won it with just one round to go in Abu Dhabi, round 17 of season 1. Absolutely amazing stuff indeed. And Diashi currently the fastest car out on the course. We've got a Red Bull of Steve's just starting off a lap then, but we're going to stay with Troy for the minute then. And we've got Gordo out on circuit as well. As now Troy come down into the chicane as well then. So yeah, this race has got a lot of history behind it as well. And of course, the modern and carrying on with the Canadian field. Then of course we got Lance Stroll and Nicholas Latifi, who are the two Canadians in Formula 1 at the moment. And it's very used to have two Canadians on the grid, isn't it? So it's make the most of them. I think Lance Stroll though will probably be here to stay for quite the foreseeable future, isn't he? Nicholas Latifi might also be the same as well, as both those drivers have got very rich dads. But whether that's the case there in F1 or not, remains to be seen then. But of course, my hunch is that they probably are. But Formula 1 has always been about paid drivers, doesn't it? Remember, Niki Lauda was a paid driver, wasn't he? But goodness me, he had some talent, didn't he? And even though, and you do need money to get into Formula 1, don't you? Because it's a rich business, isn't it? Formula 1 is, so you need to have a bit of dosh then to get into the old sport. Gordon's invalidated this time, unfortunately, so he's going to have another bite of the cherry, isn't he? And just watching Steed, and he is now coming in to the final part of the course as well. Then on board with Steed, and of course, when he has a good weekend with no technical gremlins, he is a quick customer. He is four for the moment out of the 4 drivers at a set time so far. Here's a Welsh Maldonado who hasn't got her DRS running at the moment, then, so that's a problem now for the Renault driver, and she's in the pits. She's damaged the car. Oh dear. Then so Welsh Maldonado down to come in the pits as we flash towards Ayrton as well, who's also invalidated this time. Talking to Welsh Maldonado, she's in the comments as well. 3rd, 4th, and 5th then. As Wilson has as Will says, Wilson got second there, but unfortunately, I don't think he did there, as he was a bit on the go. So there. Gordo, hello. We've also got Gurman, Curly, win please, and Diashi, Becca. You're probably last there. We've also got Wilson saying anyway, evening all, and welcome to Penalty London. Yes, we had a lot of penalties last night, didn't we? From the gold standard of ALR. Goodness me, there's a lot of penalties as well, and there's also a lot of tiers, and this is very much a speed bump in the road on the World Championship, isn't it? And there is a lot of drivers, and it's really foul to these Grand Prix. The name knows he didn't get any points there, nor did Nor did Murphy either then. So two of the top 6 drivers in ALR Gold didn't score last night. And we had German there who returned to form, didn't he? Goodness me, he gave Emerson a run for his money, didn't he? And I gotta say, I'm looking forward to more to come from German and Emerson. Really good stuff indeed. Milan and Pease was also having an epic battle as well. Carboy once again showing that it doesn't matter where you qualify, man, it's about where you finish. He's an absolute true brilliance at the moment, isn't he, in terms of race form? Look at that, Curly very close to the back of Diashi, but Diashi's still setting a very good time thus far. That's a really impressive time. I don't think I'll give him too much credit for that right from the get-go here. Goodness gracious me. Here is Sarah Smush, then we're on board then, who's now in his 51st Grand Prix start then for the Williams team, and for ALR Silver, I say. Then Sarah Smush has been in every single ALR Silver race that has ever been held as well, and of course we celebrated his 50th Grand Prix last time, and I apologise for not mentioning it on the stream now. That was appalling formed by myself, wasn't it? And I've going to be I need to be punished for that. And what is my punishment? I have unfortunately had no whispers, which that's a lie. I've had a whisper today, but I will be having no whisper tomorrow then. So I hope that's a bit of comfort there from Sirius Mushroom as well, as he is now coming into the turn 13 and 14 chicane, and the Wall of Champions then is really showing his teeth on the outside there. It was moved back, hasn't it? So it's not as bad as what it used to be. Remember 1999, we had 4 world champions go, not 4 world champions, we had 4 drivers go into the wall around there, didn't we? And we had 4 safety cars as well. Gordo's invalidated this time again. Remember last night as well, qualify, it's not just about the in the race trim where you're going to get penalties in qualifying as well. If you cut the corner slightly, that is it, your time is done and dusted. And the likes of Cardboy really fouled that, didn't he, of course, but remember, he did get on the podium in the end, though. Going back to the comments as well, then, we've got Gordo saying, not looking forward to this, said, as I'm here before it rains as well. Dylan saying evening, good evening Dylan. Sirius Mushroom, evening all. We have got Gordo saying good evening as well. Dry quali and a dry race as well. Sirius Mushroom, dry. Of course it's dry tonight. Laugh out loud there from German there. I think that German probably didn't appreciate the rain there coming so late on, and he had a gamble, didn't he? He threw caution to the wind, German did, came into the pits, and if it rained for one more lap, then he might have got, he would have probably got on the podium. Would he have got the win now? Oh, he was gaining on Emerson quite quickly, wasn't he? But it was a very tough race indeed, wasn't it, for Emerson? And Emerson mentioned it's probably one of his more difficult races of his career as well. BP out on circuit as well. We've got Gamer, who is in 18th position. Welsh Marnada just coming out of the hairpin there. Look at Gamer doing a hop, skip and a jump. And that's how you get across these curves there, as they it is very much about taming the curves around here. Gamer is currently full fast as a 10th of a second behind his closest behind his championship rival at the moment then. There's Welsh Marnada coming out of turn 14, then very close to the Wall of Champions, and Welsh Maldonado up to the line, and she is currently full fast there, splits the 2 championship contenders at the moment. Good stuff then. There we got Ayrton, who is coming up to the line as well. Then 3 DRS zones around this circuit. On the start-finish straight, we have one in between turn 7 and 8, if I'm not very much mistaken, and one on the back straight as well. Lovely helmet design there from Ayrton. Once again, his true traditional colours of the blue, green, and yellow. Ayrton goes at 10th fast, and unfortunately, that's the slowest of the timed runner so far. BP then coming out of the final turn, and very close to the Wall of Champions as well. BP is then, look at how close these times are. BP is 10th fast then, as Ayrton just getting out of the way then. Gordo then coming out to the line and hugging the inside. Gordo 11th fastest at the moment. There's a lot of drivers that really have already mentioned that they're not looking forward to this. Payne's in last week's winner. Let's see then if he can get 2 in a row. TK out on the course as well. Oh goodness me, Gordo there is parking just at the exit of turn 2 then. Gordo's Equals saying good luck everyone, from Equals saying good stuff. The Bradfield there, prefer moist then. You mean red over white, Bradfield? Oh goodness me. We have also got Gordo saying it won't be the first time, I'll be last then. Gamer saying evening, good evening Gamer. Equals saying track limits here is not very good at all. TK's unfortunately also foul victim to the track limits debacle. well. Payne Terry's invalidated his time once again then. We got Wilson, who is not on the lap at the moment, so we're going to stay with FIFA Beefy. And FIFA Beefy is looking strong last week as well, wasn't he? He could have been on the podium. He should have been on the podium, shouldn't he, FIFA Beefy? In my opinion, anyway. But let's see what the Ferrari driver can do here tonight then, as he is now coming up to one more turn to go. Well, 2 more turns to go then. And look at that. That is nailed absolutely to perfection there from FIFA Beefy, coming up to the line, and he throws himself into 8 fastest in front of his teammate Nigel around here as well. So that's a very good time indeed. Then TK is now, look at how much he's thrown it. The caution to the wind in turn 1 to the first chicane. Now fantastic. Wilson there, very close to the exit. Payne there is having a second by the chair, but he comes into the pit. Payne's said so. 5 minutes to go for Payne to get himself sorted out. Same with Billet and Sean Hammers as well, and that Nude Potato. Nude Potato is not too far behind at the Red Bull here. Theo, hello. How is everyone? Good. I'm very good. How are you, Theo? And of course, Theo has driven 1 race at ALR so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do when he becomes a full-time driver. Of course, Wilson then is coming up to the final part of the circuit as well. Let's see what he can do then. Oh, that is a lot of quarter cutting there from Wilson. I think he was distracted. I think he might have been looking down the steering wheel and editing some configuration there. And New Potato only 12 faster than him, and these times are a surprise a bit. But what about his teammate? His teammate now gets to the 12 faster. I'm loving this. Nigel's now gone fastest there. Wilson unfortunately is invalidated both his times there, so he's unfortunately going to have another tour or two. He ain't got too long now, has he, to get himself sorted. They're on board Sean Hammers at the moment in the Mercedes. Hasn't got a time on the board either just yet then. Wilson saying, I'm going to start last. My worst track for pace, and if I qualify, I'll get 16th or 17th. Rather be dead last and in space. Said equals happy 30 up to 30. Happy 51st submission there. Good stuff indeed there. Dylan hashtag serious mushroom for the win there. Bradfield do a recovery race and equals I am 38. Oh goodness me. As now Sean Hammers are on board now with the Mercedes driver. And see you coming down into turn 1 and into turn 2 as well. Turn 2 is a bit of a hairpin stamp on the accelerator. Gordo to the right of us. He is just getting out of the way then. Now into turn 3 and 4 then. Don't want to take too much of the curve then. That's good stuff indeed then. Fernando Alonso crashed around there. Panish broke his legs in 97 around there as well. Now this is where Jenson Button overtook Sebastian Vettel in 2011 to claim victory and won the longest race in F1 history with 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Unfortunately, David Coulthard spun off here in 95, which always haunts me, to be honest, because Coulthard seems to have a lot of bad luck when I think back on 95 as well. Now then, as we come down to the hairpin as well, I think that we had a couple of shenanigans with Johnny Herbert and Mika Hakkinen in 95 as well, and I think both BARs was very close together as well. Now accelerating their way then, now coming up into the there's a Welsh Maldonado is happy with her time. She's in 5th position at the moment. Sean Hammers then is coming up to 13 to 14, and the list of incidents and accidents is just as long as my hair, and there's a lot to go through out of the wall of champions there, but we'll talk about that throughout the evening. Sean Hammers goes third fast, but still it's Diashi who's the cream of the crop at the moment. Fantastic 17. Wilson is cruising back to the pits at the moment. Then Gordo is going to start a lap now. He's on the cusp at the moment in the 9.7s there. Edson's in the drop zone along with Bradfield. And I think also Wilson might be doing the same tactic there as well. So unfortunately not as Aaron Troubles in this race. In this qualifying session, who's driving for speed? Diashi tonight. I gotta say, he is looking very good, Diashi, isn't it? I'm loving that, Diashi. So once again, I was in no doubt that Diashi was going to turn it around. Then he's had a very difficult start to his life in silver, hasn't he? But remember, in Bronson, he was just chipping away, and then he had an absolutely outstanding race in Singapore, didn't he? And I feel that when the bars are close together on the circuit, or close to the circuit, Diashi really comes alive, doesn't he? He's definitely a driver that is not intimidated by the furniture on the outside of the circuit, is he? So it's good stuff indeed then for Diashi. And remember he's had a bit of poor luck, hasn't he, in his career thus far. Then Gordo now coming into the wall of champions. That is great. He carried a lot of speed there. Brilliant stuff indeed. Comes over the line. Gordo is second fastest there. Goodness gracious me. And Gordo, I think he'll be very happy with that lap. Well, I hope he he is, because I think that's absolutely fantastic. Now, here's Wilson there. He's carrying on his qualifying effort. And he is, oh no, he isn't. As he comes into the pits there, he abandons the time with 1 minute to go then. That's Wilson, I think, done and dusted in this qualifying at the moment. Here's Billet. He had a great race in Monaco, didn't he? Both him and Goro did the best of their careers. So for the Haas team, very impressive indeed then. I remember from France onwards of last season in silver, it was all Haas, wasn't it? Is it going to be the same again here this season? As we just seen one of the other race reports of BP goes 7 faster than Billet has gone 16 faster than that's not enough. What about the race winner from last time out? Oh goodness me, Paint is in major issues here. Oh gosh, the man who's on pole position in Azerbaijan could be out of qualifying at the first hurdle. He's got 50 seconds to get himself sorted. Ayrton's starting his lap as well as he comes across the line. Ayrton's invalidated this time. There's a double whammy for Ayrton as well. Oh dear, oh dear. He's damaged the wing as well, Ayrton has, so I think that's him also done and dusted as well, unfortunately. So it's much than 2/10 of a second down at the moment. And he comes into the pits as well. We had a big incident there last season, didn't we? I think it was Farshot who was facing the wrong way, wasn't he? When New Potato doing a great job in sector 2 there, almost 4/10 of a second up there, the former bronze world champion. Impressive stuff indeed then. Paynes there is now going to start another lap then, so Paynes is just about got through there. Let's take a look to make sure then. Look, 3, 2, 1, he has just done it there. Oh my word. And I've got to say that's very impressive stuff indeed there, as I think the New Potato needs to finish this lap, otherwise he would have been looking at being eliminated. He's in 9th position then. That should be safe then. TK is on the cusp as well. We've got Steve who is on an out lap at the moment. I wonder if my time is a little on the blink then, which is standard stuff then. Ayrton, has he got enough time then to get himself out? I think that might be done and dusted. Wilson's retired from the session then. Billet is also out of qualifying as well. TK on the limit and beyond there, going through the final chicane. He comes up to the line. There it is. And TK is in 12th position then. It's up through. Steve is carrying on at the moment, and Billet is retired from the session, so Billet out of qualifying, Ayrton out of qualifying at the moment as well, and so is Paint. He's invalidated again. Paint out steers crossed the line and has started us up then, so yeah, my time is on the blink, and Ayrton is carrying on as well, but I think that Paint might be out of this qualifying session. The man who's on pole position, the man who took the victory last time out as well in Azerbaijan, is unfortunately staring into extinction now for qualifying. That's a brutal blow, isn't it, for Paint? And yes, he's in the pits and he is out of qualifying. What a shame for Paynes. Ayrton is on the lap. Then we've got Steve who's just behind as well. Let's go on board with Ayrton then, who's 17th fastest at the moment. And they're dropping down then into the second chicane as well. The back end trying to overtake the front end, but Ayrton is very much tame in that back end, isn't he? Very good stuff indeed. I keep losing my place on the comment section there, so I every time I look down, I'm completely lost again. Then, but that's standard stuff, really, isn't it? I think I've got a bit of vertigo, isn't it? Probably I've been listening to too much of YouTube today. But of course, it has been a beautiful day, hasn't it? It's, the puns just keep coming and coming, doesn't it? And of course, it's a TK that retired from the session, and Ayrton very much on the limit there. That was a great bit of speed he carried through. Then Ayrton throwing caution to the wind. He is 0.2 of a second quicker, but unfortunately that is not enough. Then see is abandoned his time as well, but he is safely through into qualifying too as well. I say safely through. He's quite close to the end of qualifying, but fortunately for Steve, he is through. Unfortunately for Ayrton, though, he is out of qualifying. This is the bottom 5. Billet out of qualifying. Same with Ayrton, that's 17th, and Bradfield 18th, Wilson in 19th, and Paynes is in 20th position as well, the man who won last time out. And that is the beauty of silver, isn't it? Remember last night when we were talking about the form of some drivers. Well, tonight I got to say it's there's a lot of drivers that you can go from a driver that's winning the race to basically being 20th the next race. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? It's brilliant about for silver, really, isn't it? Then Payne's out qualifying. He was on pole position last time out. Wilson, who is third in the world championship, he is also out of qualifying as well. Bradfield down in 18th position, then Ayrton in 17th position, and Billet in 16th position as well. Those are the 5 drivers that is unfortunately out of qualifying 1, as we are getting ready for qualifying 2, which is coming up in just a jiffy then. So don't go anywhere, folks. This is going to be a cracker lacquer, isn't it? And just taking a look at all the comments as well then. And as Welshman now can we just give Diashi's lap a mention there? Yes, Diashi's lap was absolutely formidable. He done one lap, and literally that was brilliant, wasn't it? Goodness me, one lap, parted, pull his feet up for the rest of the qualifying session there. He was as happy as Larry, and I wonder if Diashi there was probably just got his feet up there, maybe the old newspaper out as well, enjoying himself there, and maybe on a sip of coffee, or as a gamer is retired from the session for a qualifying tube, and maybe he was sipping his coffee, cup of tea, maybe a Coca-Cola, or maybe some Tango. Serious Rush saying, I did Becca, and I said who was driving for him then. Yeah, Diashi there was getting a lot of respect there as well. There's a Bradfield, who's a Norwich fan, by the way. Fantastic stuff indeed. That Norwich are doing really well in the old championship, aren't they? They could be back up at the end of this season. Chelsea have won 2-0 as well. That's very disappointing, isn't it? Anyway, Sam is saying, nice out, Gordon. Now, how is Paynes going to do that? Unfortunately, Paynes is out of qualifying, unfortunately. Gurman saying, Haas there with a heart of the flame as well. Gurman, of course, said is of course, associated quite nicely with the Haas team, isn't he? Of course, he's a legend for Haas and silver, and also also potentially in gold as well. As of course, he really has shown some pace, hasn't he, this season? And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do from France onwards as well. And remember what he did last night, Gurman. So yes, he is definitely a legend in Haas's team, isn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed, that Gurman, probably the most successful Haas driver in ALR history. FIFA carry on and out lap at the moment. He is the first man around the circuit. Lap time wasn't great from me, but I'm quite happy with that. Serious Rush show. Too much wheel spin. I was right up too then. As Gorda saying, can we appreciate how tight it is? And Payne's invalidated, I think. I'm on board then, yes. And Gurman saying Payne then. As I think the pain is in a bit of pains at the moment now, unfortunately. Wilson's not very happy with Paynes, as he wanted to be last then. So I think that Wilson wants to have the last the first challenge, doesn't he? But as we got Gamer saying, qualifying is done for me, unfortunately. Now, of course, as he has got a qualifying at 2 ban then. Dylan saying that Wilson wants to do the last, the first chance there from Dylan saying as well. And he took the words right out of my mouth there, Dylan. Ayrton saying, just keep messing up there. So Ayrton there a bit frustrated down in 17th position mode. Here's FIFA who's on the soft tyres. And it's just Sarah's Russian there is asking Gurman for the strategy as well. Gurman reckons that it would be do soft, medium, to be honest. Much from there. Remember, Emerson did a medium soft last night, didn't he? And it worked out quite a treat, didn't it? Very good stuff indeed then. As Bradfield also saying, up the Canaries. And of course, as Norwich are very, I say very close then. How close are we to the end of the season? I've got to say, I really want to. FIFA has invalidated his time, and that's unfortunate for FIFA Beefy. But luckily, he can go around again then. Going back to the football situation, and I kind of hope that football ends soon, because it's been an absolutely appalling year for the old Liverpool. But there we go. Yeah, there we go. That's enough about the football chat, because of course I don't want to talk about it because I'm very wounded by what's going on. Having said that, I kind of deserve it, because I said after last season I wouldn't care if Liverpool get relegated because we got the Premier League, of course. So, anyway, this is not a football channel. It is a Formula 1 channel, isn't it? And of course I'm definitely going to use that as an excuse because Liverpool's doing rubbish. BP coming out of the hairpin as well, and he will have a bit of slipstream then for the Renault in front of him, which is Welsh Maldonado then, as a new potato has gone fast on a 12.882 then, as Welsh Maldonado's invalidated her time, unfortunately. So I'm going to flick back to BP, who is right behind Maldonado. So what can BP do then, is he is on the medium tyres. So I feel that the hard tyres is definitely the tyre to stay away from. I heard it in the driver's briefing a couple of moments ago then, as they was having a natter about strategy and all that kind of jazz then. But yes, I did hear that the hard tyre is probably not the best tyre to be on then. We only had one driver starting a hard tyre last night, which if my sources are correct, then which you have to take this as a pinch of salt, because my source is Emerson. It was Harry that was on the hard tyre last night. I could go back and watch the stream, of course, but I got to say, that's a lot of effort, isn't it, really? Baz in 14th position at the moment. He hasn't said time just yet. Steve at the bottom of the circuit. Then we've got a couple of McLarens. Well, we've got one McLaren out there at the moment of Curly, who is just on the back straight. Diashi is out there as well. Diashi's invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go around again, unfortunately for Diashi, as he would like to have had another perfect lap there. You just heard the beep, and that is Steve's DRS then, as he had to come down on the brakes then. Yellow flag then for Diashi, as he looks like that He's gone faster on a 9 at 5.57 now, and Diashi has gone wide. And unfortunately for Diashi, he's messed up his first qualifying run there. How crucial is that going to be in the race then? Here comes Welshman now, coming out to the line then, and she goes fastest there, the fast on the medium runners, the fast of the whole session as well. 9.342 then, and BP has just got into third fast then. TK is going for another run. He is indeed. He looks like he's on it. You got Curly's invalidated his time now, so Curly's going to be kicking himself, as is Diashi as well. Nigel's still in the pits, and Serious Mushroom. We got Baz, who's now catapulted himself up in the second fast at the moment. This is getting very hot out there. And Serious Mushroom then is just on a lap. And so we're just on board then with Serious Mushroom as well. Wilson saying up the Canaries, then down the Canaries next year. Then Mushroom, the best strat is maybe hard wet there for Game Ren and talking of. I got to say, there's a lot of cloud cover coming overhead here at the Gilles Villeneuve circle, isn't there? It's there isn't rain forecast, is there? But I got to say then, remember back in the Malaysian Grand Prix 2001. This is one of my favourite stories actually. As Ron Dennis, as Welshman there is going for a bit of gardening on the outside of the hairpin now. So Serious Mushroom now. I was going to say Welsh Mushroom now, as I seem to combine all his names, didn't I? He's an Irish mushroom, he's a Welsh mushroom. I think, what did I call him the other week? I can't remember what I called him the other week there. But there we go. I think it might be the FIFA mushroom as well. But today he's going to be a quick mushroom. I foresee as he comes across the line. Then isn't enough for fastest. It's fifth fast at the moment there for the Williams car. He is fifth out of 6 cars that have set times just so far. Lovely shot here from the suspension, or just in front of the suspension. I'll just say from the Alfa Romeo. I love that shot, by the way. It's absolutely fantastic. Really bit of moody camera work indeed. Then Curly then is on a lap. Then is anyone else close to the finish line yet? Sean Hammers is, and he's third fastest there in the Mercedes. Good 17. Troy then lovely hop, skip and a jump. Then that's exactly what you need to do. It's a bit like Monza, isn't it, on these curves there? You give him respect, but not too much respect, otherwise you'd just be too slow around here, won't you? And it's getting very moody and overcast out there, isn't it? Gora saying that football is painful right now. Then Dylan saying, I want the football, hashtag wants the football season to end. Then I gotta say, the football season can't end, can't come soon enough. And I was absolutely begging for it to come back last season. Now all of a sudden I don't want it to. Curly Red then is a thousandth of a second quicker than Welsh Maldonado. Very quick though the two Welsh country drivers are tonight. Goodness me, that's looking good. What about Troy? He is coming out of the hairpin as well. He's on the long back straight. There used to be a chicane in that straight, didn't there? It also used to be a bit more, it used to be fast kinks as well around there before it straightened up back in 95 there in 96 season, didn't it? After a lot of the tracks that were really re-profiled, weren't they, after the death of Ayrton Senna in Imola. And of course these was one of the tracks then that was definitely re-profiled, wasn't it? Because I think in 95 they just put a mobile chicane in there, didn't they? Which was what they did for a lot of tracks in 94 as well. They just put a lot of barriers there to stop to slow the speeds down, didn't they, in the 94 season? As much as it was a tragic season, it was also quite a classic season as well in 94, wasn't it? A lot of rumblings about Benetton's so-called traction control, or what of it, as a new potato's gone out first at the moment. And FIFA is hit the wall. He was going a bit wide, then the car just didn't want to turn, did it? And FIFA's just understeering into the wall then. We just got Diashi then, who's now going for the second button chart as well. Let's go on board, Diashi. New Potato currently is faster than Curly, and Welsh Maldonado are 3/10 of a second away, as is Gordo as well. Look at that then. A thousandth of a second between Curly and Maldonado, and then 3,000 of a second between Gordo and Welsh Maldonado. Incredibly close there, isn't it? It's a very close, a very tight track as well. Unfortunately, Diashi's had a problem again then. He has invalidated his time, so he's going to have to, I wonder if he's going to have to throw on the set of soft tires and just to guarantee he's going through. He's got the speed tonight. He just needs to keep it calm, doesn't he, at the wheel. Gordo is now Purdue at fourth position, I should say. Bradfield saying, let's talk about 6 Jake Wilson then. 6 UEFA Champions League, do you mean then? Or if you even know what the Champions League is there. A lot of banter there. I'm absolutely loving it tonight then, of course. Then. Well, I usually love the football badge as well. Last season was absolutely great for me. Unfortunately, it's not at the moment, but there we go. That's the standard life of being a Liverpool fan, I suppose, isn't it, really? We've got Tim Butler. Good evening, Sean. Come on, Steve. Good evening, Tim. I hope you're well. then. And of course, I look forward to seeing you race on Thursday night in the IRC. We've got TK, who is just coming into the second sector as well on the DRS straight. Then, of course, Tim will be cheering on for Steve, who's currently 7th fastman, and BP is retired from the session. Oh my word there, BP. I'm not sure if that's a good idea there from BP, who got a podium in his debut. Well, here tonight at the moment, he's down in 9th position, and I don't think he's going to stay there. I think the BP might be eliminated at this time here. Nigel saying not driving in quality 2. I'll see you back in the race set. So Nigel is not fancying anything, not fancy doing anything in this qualifying 2 session, and so we've got 2 former race winners, albeit in different categories. Gamer, a 4-time race winner in silver, whilst Nigel is I think he's a 7-time race winner in gold, isn't he? And Nigel is, and TK coming across the line, he goes 10th fastest then, but at the moment, BP is still in qualifying, fantastic. What about Diashi then? Diashi's got a much cleaner lap this time around, and the cloud cover is still very dull, isn't it, up above me? Welsh Maldonado, currently 1,000 a second, a bugger off then, a blatant rage there with a laughing emoji, and a big old thumbs up as well. We love it, don't we? Diaz coming across the line. He is 11th fastest. That is not comfortable. No, listen, because it's not even through at the moment. Serious Mushroom emerges back out on the circuit. So does FIFA Beefy as well. This is going to be tense in the last 4 minutes or so, and I'm not sure if I can survive any more tense after what happened last night. I gotta say, after is a Diash there has had a glancing blow at the barrier. I gotta say, last night, goodness me, it was too tense for my liking. I think I got off and literally went straight to bed there. I was away with the fairies about 11 o'clock last night. Goodness gracious me! Oh, rain! There's rain in the qualifying session. Then there's gonna be tears not coming out of the sky, but also out the driver's eye as well. We thought it was dry, but there were clouds coming over. That surely has to have been a warning sign for the drivers then. Albeit the weather forecaster didn't say anything about the rain, did it? Look at this, 3.5 minutes ago, and then the raindrops are falling on FIFA's head and Serious Mushroom as well. Oh dear. And Serious Mushroom cars put me off at the hairpin there, so it looks like we have had some traffic issues there from Serious Mushroom, who is down in 12th position. He's on the soft tires then. Can he get a lap in before this rain gets too heavy then? And once again, for the second season in a row then, we've got rain affecting the qualifying session in at silver. That racing point of Diash, he's going to be absolutely devastated. He's going to be out qualifying, I feel. What a shame for Diash. He was so quick in qualifying 1. It just hasn't materialised, has it? Gordo has just said then that Jeff says rain in 5 minutes, by the way. I don't know if I'm safe, and Gordo is currently 4th fastest. I think he is. FIFA is 11th fastest, and he just can't get through, can he? Serious Mushroom there is just under a 10th a second up in the first intermediate split time then. Good stuff indeed then. As Gordo saying, oh look, there he is. That should mean I am safe then, so Gordo should be safe then. Troy is not feeling too safe then, the championship leader. And of course he doesn't want to be knocked out, especially with his championship contender has got a qualifying 2 ban at the moment, hasn't he? But of course this racetrack, I would say it's cool, not easy to overtake, but it's going to be very interesting indeed. Look at the raindrops and look at them, they're streaming off of the camera, and it is 10 times as worse from the helmet than a Serious Mushroom. So it's going to be very difficult indeed then. He wants to have made as much commitment as what he does in qualifying, and a Serious Mushroom there, I think he's furious with that. He is furious, he's damaged the car, he is out of qualifying. It's both the front tires been ripped off the car as well, and Serious Mushroom is furious. He's going to be absolutely fuming with his weather forecaster, and I would be surprised here, and a lot of these drivers would be, as of course said, it said on their weather forecast that it was going to be a dry qualifying race unless all the drivers are bantering me, which is probably more likely to be the case. But wow, what a turn up for the books this is then. And there are 5 drivers in that bottom 5, which I would have bet my hat on would have been into qualifying 3. Luckily, I don't wear a hat, which I probably should, as that Ferrari has just done a Matrix style and gone into the pits. Some impressive stuff from FIFA Beefy. Unfortunately, wish he did that across the line as well, because he might have got through. So we are now ending qualifying session, and Diashi there is trying, but it might be in vain then. But of course, we are going to stick with Diashi. Can he get through? He is so quick in qualifying 1. This is a cruel blow, isn't it, for the racing point driver? His teammate might have made it through, and yes, Diashi there, I think he feels that this is done and dusted as well. What a shame indeed then. What Maldonado is saying, a wet Q3 then, a wet Q3, perfect conditions to be going into the wall. Then Gordo saying that's ruined my chance of anywhere above 10th position. Then Serious Mushroom, of course it rains on my outlap. I am done then. Dylan saying a mushroom would be saying unbelievable, Jeff then. I couldn't get back. I couldn't get it back straight then. Serious Mushroom also. Sorry, Sam saying not a chance for Diashi surely. Serious Mushroom also saying I am an idiot. But I wouldn't say that for my good man there. But it's just I think that the weather forecasters might need might need sacking. I would say that. Sam is saying Diashi may not have a chance. Remember Charles Leclerc's incredible lap in the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2018 for the Sauber team before they became the Alfa Romeo team. He absolutely it was incredible. The rain was too heavy for a lot of drivers, but not for Charles Leclerc. Unfortunately, Diashi is done in this qualifying session, and he is out. What a shame then for Diashi. Then look at that then, as the rain is streaming across the camera lens now then. I feel absolutely gutted for this man there, as it was looking so good indeed. Oh goodness me, I've got a data warning now. I've almost used 2 gig. Good gosh, so I quickly get rid of all my notifications there. So West Ham against Leeds, by the way, if anyone's interested. I gotta say that's one thing that this lockdown has really produced is we've got football almost every day of the week. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Well, just I said that I just remembered what the season was going on like. Yeah, so maybe it isn't that fantastic after all. I would rather very much Formula 1 was on TV every day of the week, and it probably will be in my household because we have got the testing starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Bahrain. I think Lando Norris has just tweeted Instagram. I don't know. Well, I think it's Instagram, isn't it? That just shows how much I know about social media. But I think he's Instagram there as he was landed in Bahrain last night, I believe, or today, or something. All I know is he's in Bahrain as Diashi in the pits, and what a shame then for Diashi, as he is out of qualifying too. Then as the rain then it's going to be very slippery indeed. Everyone on the medium tyres then for the start of the race later on. Now, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? I do like it when drivers have mix and max, and so it's going to be very much a same strategy then for all those top 10 drivers then, but it's going to get very interesting, isn't it? So don't go anywhere, folks. This is going to be a cracker lacquer. Out of qualifying is Gamer and Nigel, 15 for 14, 30 for this year's series. Mushroom, 12th position is Diashi, and 11th position is FIFA Beefy as we get into qualifying 3 in just a jiffy. Just going back then, yes, of course, testing starts this weekend, and Bahrain, then looking forward to that, and seeing the 10 teams then now are on track for the first time, and in anger as well. The rain has come and gone then. That's great stuff then, and I think that I'm happy with that because I prefer a dry qualifying. The rain has stopped. They've all on the intermediate tyres according to the graphic up there. I'm wondering if people are going to throw on the set of soft tyres and just wait for this track to dry up then. Well, we're going to find out. No one is coming out just yet then, and it's good. The track is just going to get better and better, I foresee. In qualifying 3, this is like this. TK is coming out on track then. You can see that there's still a bit of spray out there, so I'm wondering if this might be a banker lap then for TK. In qualifying 3, we do have TK. We have the Haas of Gordo just behind us as well. New Potato, Curly Red, BP, Steve, Sean Hammers, Troy A, Baz, and Welshman on the DRS has been enabled, and I think the intermediate runs are going to come back in the pits then because that we had a bit of a we had kind of a little bit of rain. It's just dried up, hasn't it? So a bit of summertime rain then here in qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix. Round 9 of the Season 3 World Championship here in Silver. The championship is finally balanced, isn't it? 12 points separates Troy A and the Gamer for the championship. When Troy take the lead in the Monaco Grand Prix, and he hasn't looked back, has he? But in the Baku, it's started to swing back into the way of Gamer, but Gamer with a qualifying ban. It was put him on the back foot, but remember, points are not dished out on the qualifying session. They are dished out in the race, which is coming up in just over 12 minutes time. So do not get anywhere, folks. This is going to be a good one, isn't it? Good as saying so unlucky for Diashi then. The TC off is gonna hurt me there for Serious Pressure as well. P12 for Diashi, why not then? So he's very happy with that. Better than a reset than previous results then. Diashi looking very strong then, isn't he? Which is, I think, is absolutely great to see. Look at that. Look at the amount of effort that Curly was putting into the car. They're trying to warm up those tires, and so it's quite a brisk day out there. Gordo saying that might be your first out is on the grid then. Might be first out is the first on the grid then. We'll Russell saying it's looking dry then. Why Inters? It looks dry. I think it is dry, isn't it? It is dry now, and I think the soft tyres are the way to go. Surely here, as the intermediate runs to come back in the pits. I'm just going to take my time in the race and trying too hard and get enough. And then, but Cirrus Merchant currently 4th in the championship zone. And here's Steve then in the lovely purple helmet as well for the Red Bull. Absolutely lovely stuff indeed. And accelerating out of turn 2 then. I love that shot then because you can see the underneath of the car. It's absolutely a spectacular shot, isn't it? And look at that lovely lovely stuff indeed there from Steve. Very cool and calculated in the car, isn't it? Steve is 20.8 to start off the first intermediate split time. Looking very good indeed then for Steve. DRS then on the excellent turn 7 on board with the Red Bull Aston Martin Honda car. Of course, Aston Martin will have their own team, won't they, in ALR season 6 next season. And I'm looking forward to that. And it's a beautiful green car. It's great to have a green car back in Formula 1, which is not a Caterham. No disrespect to the Caterham then, but yeah, I think that it's a shame that they didn't do too well, really, wasn't it, Caterham? But and unfortunately, all those new teams didn't do too great in the end, which is a big blow. I think it was a cost cap, wasn't it? That really, the lack of a cost cap that really hurt those 3 teams at the end. But Haas have really showed what a new team can do in Formula 1. It's really impressive stuff indeed there for the Haas team. They are on a bit of difficult times at the moment, but I think that they are finding some investment from a certain Russian backer. Steve is not that Russian backer, but he is on fast. He's fast at the moment, and he is on the provisional pole position. What about Curly coming up to the line as well? Curly is fastest there by 0.4 of a second. He is on a pole position at the moment then. Good stuff. And Baz then is on a out of mode, but BP is not in. There he is and flashes past me then. I'm coming on to the first of the 3 DRS zones as well as we're on board. We're on board as well. On board then is we got Matt Bridge then saying welcome Matt then P5 by turn 3 then as a BP coming down into the hairpin, so locking up the inside right front there, accelerating away, and now then he's got one more decision to make on this qualifying lap, and that is the perilous turn 13 and 14. If you don't get that right, you're gonna have a quarter cut, otherwise you'll be in the wall of champions, and you've got to thread the eye of the needle in this final part of the course. And BP, good stuff indeed then. I thought he was in the wall, but he was okay. Inch perfect there from BP. Comes across the line. He is fastest and done a 10.646 then. And I think that the track is still quite green at the moment, but how he is very on it quite quickly. Gordo is coming to the pits. Has absolutely smashed the speed limiter sign there. So he's definitely a need for speed, isn't he? There, Gordo is. He was on the intermediate tyres, which I think was the wrong choice. Sean Hammer's starting his lap as well. Baz is invalidated this time, and so it's going to be Sean Hammers. We're going to stick with no yanks. We're sticking with TK down the bottom of the course as well, accelerating away and accelerated up there. As Gordo was saying that he did a 17.1 there, so but it looks like it hasn't counted there on the left-hand side tower. But I think Gordo can go a lot quicker than that anyway in the when he throws on the set of the softer tyres. Very controlled, isn't it? I've got to say, it's incredible how these drivers just get through that very nice. And TK is fastest there at a second and a 10th there. He is on pole position, TK. He was on pole position at the Monaco Grand Prix, wasn't he? He has experience of being on pole position. Can he get his second pole of his career? We'll find out then. Baz is coming through the first chicane. So Sean Hammers is purple in the second sector. Is he gone a bit wide there? He's gone in deep. Sean Hammers has before accelerated away the Mercedes Grand Prix. So the Mercedes driver then now when he is coming up into the final part of the course as well. Hang on a minute, my hairband's fallen off. There we go. I can see clearly. I want to see Sean Hammers. There he is then, correcting the car slide, and look at that brilliant stuff indeed then with the West Ham inspired helmet. Sean Hammers comes across the line. He is on pole position there. A great time indeed there for Sean Hammers. Here comes Maldonado. This is looking good, is it? It is second fastest there, 2/10 of a second away from Sean Hammers at the moment. Then this is great stuff, isn't it? Baz are flying past me. He has just knocked my nose off. Is he going to knock off the socks of the comparators? He's full fastest, and that is on the second row of the grid. Then Troy on an outlap at the moment. Then let's take stock with 5 minutes to go in the qualifying session. Sean Hammers on pole position. He's never been on pole position, I don't think, in silver, but he has been on pole position in bronze. We have Welsh Maldonado, who is second. She's been on pole position in bronze, never in silver. TK in third position. He has been on pole position in silver. Remember, 2 races ago to Baz in 4th position and BP in 5th. Curly in 6th position. Steve is 7th at the moment. Then Gordo on an outlap. New Potato on an outlap. Troy is on a flying lap now. Wow, he is feeling the edge and he's close to the edge and beyond. Then first split time a 19-1. Then he's gone magenta in the first sector there, or purple if you want to get European about this, as we now fly on to the middle part of the course as well. Gordo saying that he was invalidated on the inter-tire. Troy is invalidated as well. Oh no! So the championship leader then is having a bit of problems. And remember, he's such a good racer though, isn't he? Troy is, but Gamer and Troy, it looks like they're on the back foot at the moment, have to dominate in the opening. Oh, Gordo there is invalidated this time as well. So he's going to have to go around again, isn't he? New Potato then is invalidated as well, but do not worry about New Potato then, because, well, we should worry about New Potato because he's a quick customer. He's got the most pole positions in silver history on this grid anyway at the moment. So he has the most experience of getting on pole position. And now as we're coming down then into the hairpin as well, Matt Bridge there saying king for pole at the moment. And Sean Hammers is currently on pole position by 0.2 of a second. But what can Curly do? Can he really ruffle the feathers then of Sean Hammers then with 4 minutes to go in the qualifying session, as we are now breaking down then from 8th gear, dropping down into 110 miles an hour before getting on the accelerator then, and he comes across the line. Is it pole? It is. Isn't an 8-4 for Curly? My word, that's absolutely incredible stuff there from Curly. He left it all on the line there. Gordo's in the pits then. New Potatoes on a lap then, and now he's DRS then. His first sector is already just passed then. Maldonado saying that the 3 Welshes are up top then. Yes, it's Curly, it's Hammers, it's Maldonado. 1, 2, 3 at the moment now. None of those stars have been on pole position in silver before. We could have a new pole sitter. What about New Potato? I think he's had 6 pole positions in his career in silver. Can he make it 7th here tonight and accelerating out of the hairpin as well? Look, there's a bit of heat haze on the track as well for New Potato, and the track is coming to these guys then with 3 minutes to go in the qualifying session. And Gordo is saying then all or nothing with no banker then, so he's feeling the pinch there. Gordo is said New Potato is also going to be feeling the pinch as well. He usually goes out early, and this might be his one and only run for Potato. He has done a 14.667 there. New Potato has then, so he might be a bit disappointed with that, but less I'm wondering if that might have been his banker there just to get a time in the board then, and what can he do from there? His teammate TK is 4/10 of a second in the first sector. Good time indeed. Look, there's a bit of sunshine now on the Montreal circuit. It is it's starting to get lovely and warm out there, isn't it? There's no rain. There's no rain predicted for the races like there was last night. Even of course that came with just a couple of laps to go, didn't it? In the Canadian Grand Prix, dropping down into first gear. Look at that, it's 35 miles an hour before accelerating away. Then now jumping up the gears, then 3rd to 4th to 5th to 6th to 7th, and then to 8th. He's now at top speed here. TK is look at this, touching 200 miles an hour then before breaking down then. And there's yellow flags in 2 then, and breaking down then TK. He's invalidated. TK is invalidated. That's this lap on the next lap down there for TK. He's going to be furious. What about New Potato then? New Potato is on is basically as light as a feather. And look at the commitment there. Oh, he's in the wall. He's invalidated as well. I got to say then, of course, running a bit wide there for Potato, he would have been an 8.5 then. That would have been on the front row of the grid for New Potato. He's going to be furious, and I think he's going to have to get around it quite quickly. BP on a lap at the moment. TK is invalidated this lap then, so he's going to have to go around again. So let's take a look, see what BP can do. He's gone purple in the first intermediate split time then. Let's see what do. Sam is saying don't get too excited, Becca, as of course there is still the race to come as well. Curly is not out of the pits. He is out of the pits now with just over a minute to go then, so he's very much cutting it fine now. Curly is. Welshman Nado out on circuit as well. Everyone is out on the track. All 10 drivers are out there. This is a proper top 10 shootout. BP has locked up the inside right front tire of that racing point, accelerated away then. Look at this, and now DRS there's the line then, right on it, like a car bonnet there from BP. Now then look at this, there's a car in the foreground there. It is one of the Alfa Romeos. I think it's TK, unfortunately invalidated this time. BP hasn't there, and he is now coming to the line and he's aiming for 8.4. It is not enough there. It is second on the grid there. He is 0.2 of a second away from Curly. An incredible time there there from Curly. Steve then coming across line, he is starting his lap, and now then, New Potato has run out of fuel. He's run out of fuel, New Potato, as he's going to be absolutely devastated. Only 8th on the grid there. Gordo is just about to start his lap then. And Curly also starting his lap then with 7 seconds to go. Then Curly is, look at this, and there is the time at the top of the corner. Then Curly has started his lap now. We got a Renault. It's Troy is second fastest then. Good time indeed then. Baz has just come through and he's moved into 5th fastest then. We got Sean Hammers then, who's gone 4th fastest. Oh, it's who's that? That's a New Potato who's just parked on the side of the circuit. Welsh Maldonado comes across the line. She stays 6th fastest in the end. Welsh Maldonado does. And on row 3, Steve down to the bottom end of the course, said Gordo on a lap as well, and this is all enough for Gordo. He's invalidated. Gordo's invalidated. That's him done. What about Steve? What about Curly? I think Curly might have this one then, because I think that Troy's finished, has he? No, he hasn't. My apologies for Troy. And he's I think it's a I'm not sure if Troy's on the lap there, but Curly's going quicker. Steve is going quicker. He's 7th fastest there for Steve. But what about Curly? Then he is still on it there. It's Curly. It is Troy. Curly going for his first pole position of his career here in Silver. Then he was so close, wasn't he, in Australia? It was pipped to the punch there right at the very end. Then but Curly has got it in between his. He's got the bit between his teeth. He's on pole again. He's done another cracking lap there. And Curly is on pole position then for the Canadian Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Well done to Curly. Absolutely mega stuff indeed then. His first pole position, and he was just absolutely nailing that, wasn't he? He is going to be absolutely delighted. The McLaren team are loving it as well. And yes, very good stuff indeed there. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Something. I'm just making sure that my notes are correct. And they are indeed Curly's first pole position of his career as well. And congratulations to Curly. Mega stuff indeed. Then, and I'm already perspirating here in the Oda box. Then, so I'm gonna have to open the window in a minute. I think that Curly might also be perspirating as well. Then, because that was a very close qualifying. Well, I say it was close qualifying, but his last lap there, he just extended the margin there. He was already on pole position anyway, but impressive final lap there from Curly, and his first pole position of his career. Absolutely mega stuff indeed there from Curly. So he is on pole position for the first time in his ALR silver career. And let's see what he can do. He's close in Australia, but he's back on it now, isn't it? Curly is, and he is now just taking a parade lap. He is going to be absolutely delighted with that. The gamer saying, nice one, Curly. Good lap, buddy. A cracking lap indeed, wasn't it? Brilliant stuff, Ben. So then let's just take stock of what happened in that qualifying session then. It was Curly on pole position and 3 Tesla second in front of Troy in second, BP in a career best third position, Sean Hammers in 4th, Baz is in 5th with Maldonado in 6th, D in 7th, and both the Alfa Romeos in 7th, 8th and 9th, and TK and Noob Tail. What could have happened then if they didn't invalidate the times? The same for Gordo as well in 10th position. And Serious Master just said, Giallo, good luck. Indeed. Then these guys are going to need them, because there's going to be a lot of penalties, isn't there? Right, and this is the build-up to the race now, and goodness me, I'm absolutely knackered after that. That was an incredible qualifying session, wasn't it? That's the disadvantage about commentating on ALR, is because we have to go straight into the race now, and but it's good for you guys watching at home, and it's of course great for the drivers. I'm not sure how good it is for me. It is learned, so I need to pace myself, don't I? And it's very overcast over in Montreal at the moment, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, then. Right then, let's we're going to go for the grid then. As you can see then, the front wings are out in the pit lane, just in case then we have some shenanigans. We're just watching the Ferrari mechanics of FIFA Beefy there. They are eyes fixed on that screen, aren't they? And just having a look to see what is occurring then as FIFA Beef and Nigel hopefully don't have any shenanigans in the first couple of corners then. And we're now just waiting then to see what is going to be going on there as well. Then, so countdown is on then to the start of the Canadian Grand Prix here in Silver. Of course, we had a sprinkle of rain in the qualifying session, but that's about it. We are not expected any rain in the race then, but expect the unexpected then, as it's going to be a cracker then. It's a difficult race, this one is, isn't it? I was saying then that after Monaco and Azerbaijan, then the drivers might feel a bit much at home now with Canada, because it is very much a favourite of fans, isn't it? But maybe not drivers then, as we've already seen then that the amount of penalties in last night's race then was quite high, wasn't it? And look at the number of tyres there. That is a lot of yellow marked medium compound tyres, isn't it? Curly on pole position then for the first time in his career. He is on the medium tyres. Everyone in the top 10 on the medium tyres. Hard tyres for FIFA Beefy and for Wilson as well. Soft tyres for Bradfield. So watch Bradfield. He is going to be absolutely flying, isn't he? In the opening couple of laps and 35 laps around the Montreal Gilles Villeneuve street circuit. Then Curly on pole position then for the first time in his career. Can he get that first race win as well? But he has got some very hungry drivers. He's got 19 drivers behind him. There's 1-2 which wants to beat him. Troye is one of those drivers. Well, Troye wants to go for his fifth Grand Prix win of his career and of the season as well to extend it in the championship. BP will love to get a second podium and also a second Grand Prix. And also maybe a first Grand Prix win as well. Sean Hammers in 4th position there. Baz is in 5th. Maldonado is 6th position now. Steve in 7th. TK is in 8th. 9th position is New Potato. 10th position is Gordo. Wilson and Bradfield got themselves disqualified. So that is not looking too fruitful, is it? Remember, they came to blows in the Monaco Grand Prix, didn't they? FIFA in 11th position in the Ferrari. 12th position is Diashi. He was very unlucky in qualifying. Let's see what he can do in the race set. Serious Mushroom in 13th position now. Another driver who was very unlucky when the rain came. Nigel in 14th for this day. He wasn't keen on coming out, was he, Nigel? Gamer, the former championship leader, the man who's won 3 Grand Prix this season. Qualifying 2, Ban down in 15th, and Billet in 16th position. Ayrton in 17th position, struggling on the circuit. Bradfield is 18th with Wilson in 19th. Payne's the man who won last week, is down at the back of the grid. He was on pole position this time last week. This week he's in 20th position then. Gio is saying hashtag Jake for president, and also he thinks that Troy is going to win today as well. He's second on the grid then. Troy is going to have to earn that win though, isn't he? As is every other driver then on board then with Payne then, who of course on his return to silver then won the Grand Prix, didn't he, last week? But incredible stuff, isn't it? It's incredible how different last week and this week really goes. There is the calm before the storm, and this is the view from the Wall of Champions, and the drivers are lined up. Then we are about to get going then in the Grand Prix, and the lights are on then. Of course, no one's home then. As I have learned my lesson, then great stuff indeed. Then now the rest are on board from Curly. Then when are we going to be going? Then we are racing in Montreal. It is go, and it's Curly who takes the lead. That's a great start from Curly there. He has asserted his dominance straight from the get-go, and he takes the lead down. It is free of Brass going into turn 1 there. The Alfa Romeo's having to get out there. Is TK almost went to the back of his teammate. Then we have side-by-side action with Gordo. Steve's had an appalling start. He's dropped down to 3 positions already in these. FIFA Beefy trying to go on the outside. FIFA's knocked into Steve, and Steve going across the grass. But in 10th position as well. Both Ferraris are now 12th and 13th position there. Just take a look. Then we got New Potato, who is really fighting with Gordo. Then as New Potato's got past Gordo and up into 9th position there as well. That was an absolutely perfect start there for the top 4 cars. And brilliant 17. Welshman has got past Baz straight from the get-go as well. Good stuff indeed there. And we got the 2 Ferraris there who are now side by side, and we got FIFA and we got Nigel. Everyone are more or less on the same compound of tyres, and apart from the 2 Ferraris, as FIFA's on the hard tyre, and he's going up the inside there. FIFA's given a bit of room there, but FIFA is going to have the advantage there, and he's going to be on the power sooner than his teammate Nigel is. And of course Nigel, first ever race in the ALR back in season 1 around here, and he'll be looking for something more of the same again here tonight, and with a race win then. But he's got a lot to do on board with Maldonado, and so coming through to complete that one then. That one completed. The gap is 0.6 of a second then, as Curry says the fast lap of the race then. We got Troy in second position, BP in third position. We got Ayrton in the pits already. Ayrton is in the pits, and major problems there for the AlphaTauri driver, having a nightmare start in this race. What a shame then for Ayrton. Down 6 positions. Diassi's had a bad start, and Steve has had a bad start as well. Unfortunately then, 2 Alfa Romeos are very much a Lionel Stern, aren't they, to start off this race, and it's all completely gone Completely couldn't remember where I was going then. 3-second penalty then for Diashi then, right from the get-go. There's not as many penalties there was this time yesterday, was there, in the gold race, but goodness me. But Ayrton, they've been very squeaky clean, haven't they? Ayrton coming on the pits then on the medium tires, and he's got a lot to make up now. Ayrton will be hoping for a safety car of some kind. We're not sure what happened to Ayrton there. We did have a brief yellow flag encounter on the opening lap. Look at that, is a new potato then. How new switcheroo TK has gone too wide then. Oh, there's contact between the Alfa Romeo drivers. We've got Payne who's past the Gamer already. And then look at that, he's getting his elbows out there, and a Gamer is dropping back, isn't he? Has he damaged the car? I don't think he has he? Oh, he has, you know, then, and the Gamer is dropping back there, and this is not good at all, is it? It's a Gamer be losing ground on Troy. Troy is not leading just yet, yeah, he comes in the pits, and that's a big blow indeed. Welsh Maldonado's got past and up into third position. What is going on here then? And look at this, Maldonado's through, and the shoulder hammers there, as I'm getting a bit squirrely, and Baz is right underneath the rear wing. We've also got FIFA, who has got past, Nigel and FIFA are still battling away, aren't they? As Nigel still status quo in the Ferrari camp then, but I think that I think Ferrari will like Nigel to be in front of FIFA. Oh my goodness me, now there's a Red Bull going very wide. Steve having a bit of a difficult start in this race so far. He is down in 13th position, then Steve is in a car 45 in the Red Bull, getting squirrely, and Paynes is now all over the back of him as well, but Paynes is also getting a lot of opposite lock as well. Bradfield on the soft tires making some good headway. Nigel's now passed and up into 10th position as well. Good stuff, Ben. Nigel's in the points for the Ferrari, but it will come back to help FIFA, I think, in the not too distant future, into the hairpin. Gap of the front, 8 tenths of a second, then Troy. Now we've got BP in third position, and there's Paynes has got past D, and now up into 13th position there, but Paynes there having a lot to get on the power a bit too early, and now Bradfield is right up in his grill, and he was going, there's no DRS just yet, and there is DRS, and I tell a lie, then do not listen to me, I'm speaking absolute hogwash, as now we've got Bradfield up into 14th position, passes Paynes then, and into the final chicane as well. Great stuff indeed from Bradfield. Those soft tires are working, an absolute treat at the moment. Then what is occurring here is Sean Hammers and Baz once again, and they love turn one, don't they? Or I think Baz loves it more than Sean Hammers at the moment, but he's a bit frustrated. He is stuck behind then, and now the Alfa Romeo pair then of what's going on here then is I think we got a McLaren then who is now on the inside as well, as I am completely lost at the moment. And then Steven all over the back of the McLaren. Look at this is going to be, oh goodness me, it is getting very herring scared out through that. Oh my word, there has got a fast lap of the race as well. Bradfield's all over the course then, and now we got Paynes then as well. Lovely shot from the rear wing, but I want to see the front then, and here it is, and there's Bradfield there, and Steve then is getting very much elbows out here, isn't it? This is great stuff indeed, and isn't it great stuff? And as they go over the curb, then there's a 3-second penalty for Steve at the moment, and there is the Ferrari of Nigel, as he's now starting to put in some laps then, isn't he, and go down into the hairpin, but no dice at the moment. Oh, Paynes has hit the back, that does damage on the Red Bull, and I think on the Williams as well, if I'm not very much mistaken. Oh, damage, and there, yes, two broken wings then for the for Red Bull and the Williams, and unluckily for those two drivers, and Mr. is not here tonight. BP is up into a second position. He gets past Troy. Now, what has BP got then? Can he now get after and attack Curly? Curly, of course, has been the benchmark in qualifying, but now what's his pace in the race? And there they are then. Curly's not actually pulling away just yet at the moment, though, is he? He is just. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, is that Steve? Steve. Where's he got? Oh my goodness me! How has he got off first? A virtual safety car for Steve, and we've got Paynes there. He's just coming to pits on the soft tires, and there's Ayrton and Gamer then, who is they've just pitted earlier on then. Steve's car has been recovered then, as Paynes and Gamer then out very close to government. There's battling at the front there a week ago. Now unfortunately they're near the back then. Ayrton there is also near the back as well. Unfortunately they've all come to It's all come to grief. As I've just heard from Blatant Rage, that Curly has got damage on the McLaren. That is why he's not pulling away then. So Curly has had some problems then with the front wing, I feel. So Curly's going to have almighty amount of understeer here. That is not good at all, and that is going to be a factor in terms of penalties as well, isn't it? Because he's going to have to turn the car more, isn't he? Virtual safety car is still out at this stage of proceedings, but Curly is going to be absolutely devastated. Steve's out of the race. He's out of the session. DRS is available once again then. Lap 6 of the Grand Prix. 7 tenths of a second separates the top two at the moment, as Gamer has just been overtaken there by Paynes. He is on the soft tires at the moment, on board with Baz at the moment then. He is underneath the rear wing of Sean Hammers, I believe it is indeed. But Nigel's really under the grill then once again of Gordo. Gordo is in the house. So we've got two alpha males that have very much said it's very much a battle royale there. Isn't it? Gordo very close to the wall then, and Nigel then is going to be very intrigued about what is happening with Gordo at the moment, because Gordo looks to be struggling on those tires. And we've only done 6 laps. Was that debris or was that just a bit of leaves going on then? Maybe he needs to leave him alone then, perhaps. It just gets worse as time goes on, doesn't it, for me? On board with Nigel once again, and look at that, and he's hacksawing away at the wheel, and lovely shot for the nose cone. That was only a brief shot though, rather a bit more than that. And Serious Motion then is going for the attack then, having a look, not quite then, as FIFA then covers the inside. And what can Serious Motion do then? FIFA is on the hard tires, and FIFA is going very deep into the Grand Prix. I'm wondering as BP has got a 3-second penalty, and what's happened there? BP has had some major crowd. He's in the wall of champions. He's facing the wrong way. He had a 3-second penalty, and BP has made a mistake here, or has he come to blows then? Whatever the case may be, BP is dropping down the order. Oh goodness me, he's got damage as well. BP has then. Oh goodness gracious me. And I think that Curly might bring a sigh of relief slightly, but not too much, so because he's got damage, hasn't he? And of course, if he changes the wing, then he is going to add an extra 5 seconds onto his pit stop, more or less. And Payne's just flying out in front. Then Baz is still like just shadowing Sean Hammers at the moment, as yellow flags are occurring once again. Then it's one of the racing points that I think VP was just letting his teammate go by, going back to the spot here. Then Sean Hammers it's not being given a moment's rest at the moment, and I'm very impressed with these guys. And only 5 penalties so far. Remember last night, that Alfa Romeo was looking very interesting in the back of the Alpha Tower, isn't it? So we've got a couple of the Alpha cars, right, very much Lionel Stern, and it's Baz, it's Baz, Potato, and TK then, all in a line. Then Troy is now starting to gain on our race leader, which is Curly at the moment. Can Curly absorb the pressure there as well? This is not new territory for Curly, is it? But he is the benchmark at the moment, and everyone is going to be very much there in his wheel tracks. Then Sean Hammers there, just doing a very calm thing indeed. Then by letting Baz go on the outside, he'll have the inside into turn 1. Then now into turn 2, Sean Hammers just parked his car on the exit there, nullifying all advantage there from Baz. Good stuff indeed there for Sean Hammers. Great race etiquette there for the Mercedes driver. Absolutely love it. He is the top Mercedes driver at the moment, with Gamer, his teammate, who's usually near the front. Then BP is coming in the pits and in front on a set of medium tires. And what could he do from here on in then for BP? What a shame then. Only one retirement so far in this Grand Prix. That's Steve, unfortunately, out of the race then. And oh goodness me, he got yellow flags as Paynes has had some issues at turn 2. He's not damaged the car, so I'm wondering then if he's pushed on those tires a bit too hard, then they may have overheated slightly around here. Remember that the Pirelli format was kind of the brainchild for this race back in 2010, wasn't it? Because we had a great race in 2010 between Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso and co. It was a great race indeed then, and there was tyres falling apart, wasn't there? And look at this then, and now Baz is on the outside, that he's got past Sean Hammers, and he is through then. That's been a long time coming, and I think Sean Hammers has done a great job to defend, but he hasn't defended too much though, because he's only a second behind Wild and Arder then. Now we've got New Potato, and he's on the outside, and he is committing very straight away there, very much straight from the get-go there, and New Potato then is up into 5th position, and he's starting to strike now, isn't he? Sean Hammers is really struggling, and Nigel is still behind Gordo at the moment. And I gotta say, I wouldn't say this is a very difficult track to overtake on, so the silver drivers are absolutely showing some great defensive skills in this Grand Prix at the moment. I tip my hat off to you, go out there, fantastic stuff indeed then. And it was Gurman that spotted something a bit appalling there from his point of view. It is, I think it is Baz, who's got exactly the same helmet colours as him, and he's absolutely appalled by it in the comment section there. I'll read your comments out in just a few minutes, guys. I do want to take my eyes off the action, because every time I do, something happens. And Page is now in the pits, and he's throwing a set of medium tyres. Then it's incredible, isn't it, of how silver, it just goes from, you go from hero to zero stuff, or from zero to hero stuff within like a week, don't you? It's absolutely incredible. And remember, Curly and Maldonado was having an almighty fight for last and second to last in Azerbaijan. Here tonight, they are battling at the front of the field then. Serious Mushroom's got past, and now FIFA Beefy up into a very solid 10th position then. New Potato's just got past Baz as well. Now then, he is onto the back of the top 3, which is Maldonado, Troy and Curly then. So this is a very strong performance from Potato, isn't it? Really good stuff to see him indeed. Curly's got a 3-second penalty. That might could be a contribution though for the damage to the front wing. And of course, as he has got a lot of understeer in that car now, hasn't he? New Potato is the man on a mission there, isn't he? Great stuff indeed there from New Potato. 6/10 of a second away from Maldonado. He is in the DRS zone, and Baz has dropped out of DRS, but I think he still has it just about indeed. You've got to be careful that outside bar there, because I'll crash in there a few times there. But of course, these drivers are much more expertly refined than I am by any stretch of the imagination. Nigel then rising underneath the gearbox, and Gordo once again. And Nigel might be getting a bit frustrated at this stage of proceedings. Gordo is driving superbly well. Another hairpin as well. Look at that then, Nigel getting on the power, and that Ferrari is just one spin, isn't it? But of course Nigel's just controlling the throttle application at the moment. We're on lap 10 out of 35 in this Grand Prix. Gordo is starting to go defensive, so Nigel is right underneath the slipstream of the out of the Haas car, and into the pits there. That's when the first of the top runners is TK into the pits end for the Alfa Romeo team. He is going for the undercut. Look at that McLaren in the background. That is Bradfield then, who's a very I thought he was overtaking somebody. He was nowhere near anyone actually, but he is on the soft tires and doing a good job. That first stint on the soft tires from Bradfield has been absolutely magnificent, hasn't it? Really impressive stuff indeed. Then going back to this battle here, look at the top four, and oh goodness me, they're in the same shot. Then we have Baz as well. Oh gosh, I should say that. On board then with Potato, then right underneath the rear wing of Welsh Maldonado. She is in a very solid third position. It's a strong drive for Maldonado, if I say so myself. Great stuff indeed. Wilson and TK are very close together then, and where are they? As it looks like Wilson has got that battle sorted for now anyway, but TK is now on the hard tires until the end of the Grand Prix. Diash coming out of the pits down in 18th position then. And this, we've gone back to this battle here then, and this is the battle for lead then. Curly is leading the Grand Prix then. We've got two Renaults of Troy and Welsh Maldonado. That's looking good in the Joint Constructors Championship as well. And then we've got New Potato in fourth position. Baz and Sean Hammers are a second back, respectively in fifth and sixth position then. Coming through to the Wall of Champions as well. Nigel's got past Gordo, and he is up into seventh position then. Gordo is coming to the pit straight from the get-go from that. As Nigel there is Serious Much has got a 3-second penalty. The pit window is open for business then. And of course a couple of drivers have been in already, haven't they? Bradfield in the pits, well, he's done an absolutely magnificent job actually. Bradfield on the on those soft tires. He's made that strategy to work to absolute perfection as well. Wilson's gone for the opposite strategy, haven't they? Wilson and Bradfield have been. So Wilson's gone for the hard tires. Bradfield went for the soft set. Wilson is now not going to pit now for the next couple of laps or so. Troy is now really putting the hammer down and really putting pressure on Curly Red. Is Curly Red going to change that front nose cone in the pit stop, or is he going to stay out and try and live with this? It's difficult, isn't it? Because he's losing time. Surely it doesn't matter how good of a driver you are, it doesn't matter how good of a driver you are, whether you're a world champion or not. Then damage to the front wing is damage to the front wing, which is a very silly statement, isn't it? But of course, you get understeer, don't you, on the front wing, then it just damages your tires even more, and it does make it a lot more difficult to turn in, doesn't it? So will Curly choose to replace that front wing? If he does that, he's always certain to come up behind at Troy. But if he does that, oh, and look, Maldonado there has gone into the rear of Troy. Troy made a mistake there, and that is how close it is. It's about inches. And look at this, that he's on the outside. What a New Potato! What a maneuver! What a maneuver! He is having a third position. Potato. It's a Troy made a mistake over Potato. It is getting very close, isn't it? Cannot get on the power too heavily because you just spin on the rear tires, and that's what's happened to Troy and Potato. As Troy struggling for the tires, and is he going to roll the dice and come into the pits? And Maldonado's got a 3-second penalty. We've got yellow flags in front of this battle as well. The Canadian Grand Prix has gone absolutely mega here, hasn't it? We're even at half distance yet. To the front two have a 3-second penalty. The second two of Troy and New Potato does that. Bradfield's also flashed up as well with a penalty. This is getting great. Braz is now 9/10 of a second back, and he's going to lunge up the inside. Potato is, but no dice then. As Troy then was almost going into the back of his teammate there. But Maldonado might be kicking herself and is unfortunately getting a 3-second penalty just as she's got the job done of getting past her teammate now. On board then with Welsh Maldonado, and she's all over the gearbox of Curly. As Curly coming in the pits, and he is indeed then a 5-second penalty for Payne said, as he is having a nightmare race then, as Curly is coming into the pits then. So I'm wondering then, as Troy is also in the pits while Welsh Maldonado leads the Grand Prix. Let's take a look to see what is going on in the pit lane. As Curly is changing the nose cone then, so he has to change the nose cone. That's such a disappointment there for Curly. But now though, So let's see how much pace has got in the McLaren. And so Troy is now in front of it. They have gone for the undercut here. Look, where's Troy? Troy is now steaming out there. He is now out in ninth position. Now there's Curly, and now Curly's going to go in front of the Alfa Romeo. That is crucial in this race strategy. He has done, and he is now on them. Now he's back in front. Now he's in front of the Alfa Romeo. Then, so that is a crucial part of the Grand Prix. Then, but unfortunately, then. Unfortunately, you had to change that front nose coming in. That's a brutal blow indeed. Sam saying that Payne's not getting any luck at the moment now, as Payne's has been in the pit quite often in this Grand Prix thus far. Maldonado is in the Grand Prix, but she now has a new potato for company as well, and we're on lap 14 out of 35, and it's great to see Maldonado at the front end on of course, it's International Women's Day as well, and good stuff indeed then, and great stuff to see Maldonado at the top of the field at the moment, as she is leading the Grand Prix, and she is not coming into the pit. She is staying out then. Remember what Emerson did here last night? Went against the grain there in terms of pit stops then. So we got soft tires then on them, Troy and Curly then. We've now got a potato coming in the pits as well, and let's see how powerful this undercut is then on the car number. Oh my word then, it's Sarah smashing there. Luckily he just goes into the siren. That would have been a pit lane incident there, and that would have been an unsafe release as well. And here's Curly then. Curly would lose position to Potato as well. Potato is steaming out then, but he is behind Gordo, but Curly is not too far away though, is he? There's Baz behind us as well, so Curly is still in this one then, and I think he's done a good job. I think he's made a very good decision actually of coming in the pits there and changing the front nose there. And now, so Maldonado is the only of the top four runners not to pit at the moment, so this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? So we've got Bradfield, who's now all over the back of Wilson, as these two almost started in the same place on the grid, and now they're on alternative strategies. This thing it just shows there how many different ways there are to tackle the Grand Prix. Canada is quite a brutal track in terms of tyre wear, isn't it? But I'd say that at the beginning of the show then, that the hard tyres are probably not the best way to approach this Grand Prix. But it just shows that I know absolutely nothing about this Grand Prix, about this Grand Prix monarchy. We have got Maldonado, who's in the pits. Sean Hammer's in the pits as well. We got Gordo, who's got past his teammate Billet, and up into fifth position there. Billet has dropped down sixth position, but Billet has not pitted yet. And he is the highest of the medium runners, but Manu Patel then is alongside as well. Maldonado is just coming out of the pit as well, as New Patel takes the lead, and yellow flag in free. What is occurring? There's a Williamson problems there. Maldonado's come out right underneath the rear wing, and my goodness me, and Maldonado must have had an absolutely incredible outlap. She is looking inspired today, isn't she? But I said that, I've forgotten about Troy, to be fair, as Troy is leading the Grand Prix. Second position is de facto he's in the Grand Prix, but it's FIFA Beef who's in the moment, so I think that New Potato needs to get past Gordo as quickly as possible here. Yellow flag was for one of the Williamses, if I'm not very much mistaken. Gordo is quite a quick customer in a straight line. Curly's got past Billet as well then, and now Curly is trying to make his comeback, isn't he? He's now got to catch up to these drivers here then. Baz has also got past the Billet as well as they're coming down. Oh my goodness me, that's a Ferrari gone right off there, and I think that Billet, oh look, there's also contact there as well. Oh goodness me, Sean Hammers there was unfortunately an unfortunate victim there. I don't think he's damaged the car then, and that got a bit messy, didn't it? And Maldonado's in front then, she is past and moved in front of New Potato and up into fourth position. There she is, up in the fourth position. And look at this thing come across the line once again. And Maldonado then is having an absolutely inspired day, isn't she, in the Renault? And currently it's Troy second, Maldonado in fourth position. The Renault guys and the girls, I should say, are absolutely having an absolute blast out here tonight. Paynes is having an absolute nightmare as he is back in the pits again, and another spin in the pit lane issue there. Nigel has got past, and I think Nigel might be a bit upset with what occurred there just a minute ago. I'm not sure if it was the Haas car or what, but Nigel then is steaming up behind Billet then. Billet is struggling on those tyres, and Nigel's made up the time pretty impressively as well. Of course, he's on the new medium tyres as well. We're on board then with Nigel. Then Nigel is now on the inside of Billet. He is through, he is passing up into eighth position. Then Nigel is then. I think there's steam coming out of his ears there from the Ferrari driver as unfortunately, that was a bit unfortunate there. And look in the background, that's a McLaren siving down the inside, and that's Bradfield and Sean Amundsen. Sean Amundsen has to take evasive action, didn't he? As they were getting very close, and Maldonado's got past Gordo and moved up into third position. Yellow flag in one then. Yellow flag in one. Paynes has retired from the session then, and having a big crash there in the where Olivier Panis crashed. And I wonder if the safety car is going to come out. It's a virtual safety car. Is this good for anyone who wants to come in the pits now? it would have been anyone who's on the medium tyres. And Wilson has come into the pits then, and I think it's a good time for Wilson then. And this is a good opportunity, though, for me to catch my breath, actually. An absolutely incredible race at the moment. New Potato struggling to get past Gordo at the moment, isn't he? And this is not looking too good for Welshman Onyx. He's dropping back slightly. He's dropping back ever so slightly. Payne's out of the race, and that is such a shame. 2 retirements already in the Grand Prix. Oh, as I thought New Potato was going to go into the back of Gordo, but luckily then a drive-through penalty there for TK then for spin and the safety car. He got bit too on the power, bit too hasty then. Bliss not on the power at all. He's off the circuit there. Bliss 17 laps done on those 17 laps done on the medium tyres there. So it's coming through the field quite nicely now, isn't he? In the AlphaTauri. And going back to this incredible battle here, then Gordo then is Gordo is becoming a bit difficult and roadblock for New Potato. He needs to get by quite pronto here. Maldonado is now less than 2 seconds back then, and look at this then. Oh goodness me! Then look at this and look at this. New Potato's had to go across the curve there as he braked himself, didn't he? But he has got the job done. I'm not sure if he would have to get the position back in the real order for when he probably would then. But I think in ALR he well, is it going to be fine and dandy? Well, I think that the stewards might look at that one, I would say that, yes, I suppose that if the game didn't give him a penalty, then I think it's all fair, isn't it? It's all fair, I suppose. We're just now watching a BP who's got passed out and then now up into a 13th position. BP is now on a different strategy, isn't he? After having some issues earlier on this race, and he's coming back through the field. But still out on those 17 lap hard tyres. Back on board with New Potato, and he is looking quick, isn't he? He's only had 1 Grand Prix win in silver in his career, which I find absolutely astounding. But here tonight, he is really showing that he's got some pace, and Curdy is still behind Baz at the moment, then, and he is dropping off at the back of this battling trio at the moment. FIFA is still leading the Grand Prix, and it's going very long into this as well. I think FIFA would be hoping for some kind of safety car roundabout now, which would be absolutely perfect, wouldn't he, for him to come in the pits, and he is in the pits now, then, and oh goodness me, look at how close that these two are getting, and FIFA's in the pits now as New Potato then is almost on the grass as well. Look at this, and New Potato can see that there's a Renault 1-2 in the Canadian Grand Prix. My goodness me, it's a flashback here tonight, isn't it? Remember Fernando Alonso Fisichella 1-2 in the 2005 Grand Prix, but I'm not going to tell you how it ended because it didn't end too well for those two Renault guys, but hopefully it might end much better for Welshman and Troy here tonight then. New Potato in third position, Gordo on a very strong drive in fourth position there, lovely stuff there. Baz in fifth position, Curly down in sixth, and he was the pole sitter. He was the pole sitter, wasn't he? He's now down in sixth position, and as Gurman is saying then that he was not that was a little illegal there from New Potato as how he got past Gordo, and now he's all over the back of the Renault team. And Welsh Maldonado is looking very cool, is looking very strong at the moment. Remember, Troy is in the World Championship, but I don't think team tactics are going to come into play just yet in the championship, because this is only round 9. Remember when Ferrari did the team tactics in 2002? That was only round 6 there. They don't want any booze or jeers, do we? But of course, there it's also a team sport as well, isn't it? So I'm speaking absolute rubbish there, so I'll contradict myself. But this is getting good, isn't it? Between Troy, Welsh Maldonado, and New Potato. How are the Renault team going to play this then? Is Troy going to let Maldonado through? Because Maldonado is the quicker of the two drivers at the moment, isn't she? She has the pace, she has the bit between her teeth as well. She is very much the quickest driver out of the top 3 at the moment. But I think the New Potato, though, is going to be a thorn in the side of both the Renault drivers as well. Yellow flag as something's gone wrong then for Gamer. Gamer's coming to the pits, and he's had some issues in the Mercedes. Oh, what a shame there for Gamer then. And this is a nightmare race, isn't it, for Gamer? Unfortunately, getting a qualifying 2 ban is a bitter blow indeed, isn't it? And Troy is a championship rival leading the Grand Prix as well. It is just more painful. Got BP who is cruising, and something's got. Oh, he's lost the hole in the nose cone. BP has said, as he's on a bit of a nightmare Grand Prix on his second run here in silver. Now Welsh Maldonado is she going to defend? The BP's had a crash, and that's where Alonso crashed in 2008 or 9, I think it was 8. And oh goodness me, is that going to be a safety car? The racing point is still in that facility as well. Troy is going for the Welsh Maldonado's going for the lead. Troy, I think he lifted off there. There's contact then, and now Maldonado leads the Grand Prix in Canada. She has got the pace, and now she has the race lead as well. Curly is in the pits, and he's going for the undercut quite early on. Then BP is out of the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me! Now though, Maldonado has to. She's got a 3-second penalty, and what can Troy do? Troy is struggling at this stage of proceedings. Isn't he the championship leader? Is he going to be thinking about the championship, or is he going to be thinking about the race win? He has to be thinking about the race win. Surely. Sloth is saying that Troy should let through, and Irish has Troy has no penalty. Smart move from Curly as well, from German. This is great, isn't it? It's a thinking driver. It's gone through. Oh, good, New Potato has gone into Troy. New Potato has gone into Troy. Oh goodness me! Then he was late on the brakes, was he, on a couple of cases? But I think New Potato did a good job there by not getting on the power there and letting and overtaking. I think that was a very gentlemanly thing to do, wasn't it? Yellow flag is one of the AlphaTauris has come to grief. We've also got a racing point having trouble as well. Diashi's off the circuit. We got TK recovering as well. There's drama here in Montreal. I have no idea what's going on. Troy who's his Potato there, wheel to wheel, and look at that then. And once again swirling around then. It is getting very close between the two drivers. Oh my goodness me, they're in war here in Montreal, and oh goodness me. And we've got to calm down a bit, haven't we? Goodness gracious me. This is getting too much, isn't it? Too much for my little brain to handle all this, isn't it? Maldonado's now got a 3.7 second lead, whilst all of it is going on behind her at the moment. Then Maldonado has never won a Grand Prix in silver, has she? And this is a very good chance indeed. She has drove an absolute stormer for Grand Prix in this race so far. Now we've got Serious Mushroom, who's got past Sean Hammers as well. Diashi is Diashi's dropped down the orders. He's coming to pit. So is Billet, and so is TK as well. Gurma saying it's all happening now, and Sam saying that loves the late breaks. Irish, I think he does indeed. There, he's very good on the late breaks as well. Look at that, and he just breezes by Troy. Troy is in the pits, and let's take it. So Troy is in the pits, and going for an early stop then with just 10 laps to go. Marmana does have a bit of an advantage then. So is she going to come in on the next lap then for the Renault team? That should be fine then for the soft runners then. Troy coming out of the pits now, and where is Curly? I think Curly is a bit too far back. He's gone the medium tires, Curly has, and unfortunately for Curly, he had to change the nose cone, didn't he? And Troy coming out of the pits as well. Where's Curly? That shows that Curly is still within the conversation now, isn't he? So Curly is not out of this one just yet. Oh, this is great racing, isn't it? This is a great Grand Prix, and this is an instant classic here in ALR tonight. And once again, the silver drivers are putting on an absolute clinic here, aren't they? Oh, good stuff indeed then. Serious Mushroom is now just over a second back, and we're looking at this battle here then between New Potato. He's got damage to the front wing. Is he going to come in the pits? He is so good on those brakes, isn't he? Unfortunately, he did go into the back, though, didn't he, of the Renault driver as well. And it's Gurman saying, come on, mate, Dennis. I think that was to Curly. He is currently, and Curly is now up into 9th position, and Troy has also got past Sean Hammers as well. There's a Ferrari in the background. Into the pits comes Gordo for a final time in the pits. A New Potato stays out. Also, we've got Welshman now saying as well. Baz in the strong at 3rd position. Nigel in 4th position. Bradfield is having a great drive actually in 5th position there. Is he going to stay out on the tyres? Look at how close they are then, and that's one of the racing points then. So let's see then. It's Gordo is very much in this battle as well in between. Look at this. Curly is now with a new is he in the de facto second here? I think he might be. Look at Gordo's out in front of him then. Oh goodness me. And Gordo is on the soft tires as well then. So Gordo is doing an absolutely heroic job here tonight, isn't he, in the Haas once again then, and absolutely brilliant stuff. No way themselves to go into the end then from Gurman then, so he feels that Curly does have the advantage on the medium tires, and we'll see what Troy can do, but he's struggling at the moment. Well, in terms of pace, because I thought he'd be all over the back of of Curly perhaps, and Gordo's all over the back of Serious Mushroom. He's done 10 laps on the hard tires. New Potato is now trying to gain, and he is gaining. He's quick. He's very quick down the straight there. He's gaining quite a lot actually down the straight. Maldonado is in the pits then, and New Potato stays out then. So let's see see what this let's see how this one comes to play out then. Gordo in 6th position at the moment there. Great stuff then. And now then Curly is going to have a look as he going down into the chicane, and Serious Mushroom this out, and look how close to the batting Curly will feel that he needs to get by pronto. Maldonado is exiting the pit lane as well. There is Gordo. Big shot to react there to these drivers here, because look, and Curly is now up into 6th position, getting past Serious Mushroom as well, and that is a job well done. What about Troy trying to go on the outside of Serious Mushroom there? Serious Mushroom, as of course there, he's not going to be letting go, he's not going to be letting Troy through, but Serious Mushroom there, of course, is on the old hard tyres. Welsh Maldonado on new soft tyres then, and she has got a 9-second buffer between herself and Nigel as well then. So Nigel and Baz are staying on the medium tyres then, so this is where she can really make hay in this Grand Prix as well then. So this is falling nice into place then for Maldonado. Absolutely great stuff indeed. Thank you all for joining us here tonight then, as we've got a lot of viewers here tonight, and oh goodness me, I'm surprised you're still here, because you probably can't understand what this Forester is saying about but Baz in 2nd position, I should say, into the pits there. All 3 drivers for the top 3 are in the pits then. New Potato in the pits then. Ferrari mechanics for Nigel, Alpha Tauri mechanics for Baz, Alfa Romeo mechanics for New Potato, the former bronze world champion, coming in the pits, and he's changing the nose cone as well. New Potato is, and he's going to be absolutely good, isn't he, about that, because he was very much in it to win it here tonight. Gordo is set the fastest out of the race, and Gordo has also got the bit between his teeth as well. Bradfield there, who's Bradfield is having the drive of his life, isn't he? Is he driving the Peugeot? No, he's driving the McLaren. Absolutely great stuff then. He has come out in front of New Potato then, and in 8th position now. 8th position, great stuff indeed. And Baz in 7th position, and that is good stuff. And Troy is now right underneath the, not underneath the rear end Curly as such then. But Welsh Maldonado leads then on lap 27, 3-second penalty for Gamer then. An absolutely great race then. Let's take stock then as we're on lap 27 out of 35. It is like this, and Maldonado is leading. 2nd position is Gordo. 3rd position is Troy. 3rd position is Curly. Troy in 4th position. He does not have a penalty at the moment. So it is, so it's definitely, I think it's still definitely advantage Troy at the moment though. So look at that, that is a Diashi behind us then. 5th position is Serious Mushroom. He's done 12 lap on the hard tyres. 6th is Baz. 7th is Nigel. Bradfield in outstanding 8th position. New Potato will be so disappointed in 9th position. FIFA in 10th then. Baz has just got past Serious Mushroom then, and Troy was lining up an overtake for 3rd position, and I was wondering what was going on there. And now we got Nigel up in the 6th position. Well, good performance for Nigel as well in the Ferrari. There's a lot of outstanding performances here today, isn't there? So then we're just taking a look at the gap then. Gordo is absolutely flying out there at the moment. I think the Welsh Maldonado has a very good downforce for the middle part of the lap here. I might be surmising them, but she's losing a bit of time then, by the looks of it, on the straight set. Look, because now Gordo is in the DRS range, so Gordo is in the DRS, and oh goodness me, this is a great race, isn't it? An absolutely great race. And German is asking, can I show the penalties? Your wish is my command, my good sir. Maldonado is on 3 penalties at the moment. Gordo is on 6 then. That might be why Maldonado is not too concerned by Gordo, but she can't let him get away. Curly is on 3 seconds. Troye is on no penalties at all, and at the moment then he is very close to the race win. Baz is on 6. Nigel's on 6 as well. Bradfield free from the potato. Wilson has got no penalties. Great stuff indeed then. No, FIFA's got 3 seconds. Ayrton's free for Sean Hammers, who I think this race has kind of got away for Sean Hammers in this one, hasn't it? What a shame now for Sean Hammers. Just coming across the line once getting them back on board with Troy, just keeping an eye on the oh my goodness me, Nigel's up the inside. New Potato set a fast up race, and he's right underneath the rear wing of the McLaren. Now Nigel is up in the 5th position then. Is there another sting? Is there another twist in the tail? Has Nigel got the pace then to get up and get behind then the Balin Curly and Troy as well? The gap is down to 7 pointers, down to 7/10 of a second, and the ball at the front. Then this is going to be an incredible end to the Canadian Grand Prix. Lovely shot here from the diffuser. We're looking back at Baz at the moment, and back at the front. Then this is what's occurring. Then we got 2 drivers who've never won a Grand Prix. The ALR is battling for the race win here in Canada. Canada is great for a first-time race winner, isn't it? Robert Kubica in 2008, Lewis Hamilton in 2007. We got Jean Lacey in 95 as well, and so on and so forth. Absolutely amazing stuff indeed, isn't it? Maldonado then is I might have got the wrong end of the stick here because Maldonado is actually quite quick in the straight line. But look at how much commitment Gordo's put through that photo chicane now. Well, lap 30, we got 5 more laps to go in the Grand Prix. Potato has got through and passes Bradfield. Bradfield's got a 3-second penalty there for his efforts. Bad's not letting Nigel get away, is he? And I think that these two are now starting to get closer to the battle for third at the moment. This is going to be a 10-10 to the Canadian Grand Prix. Then there is 3 drivers that have never won a Grand Prix in the top 3 positions at the moment. We got Troy, the championship leader, who is right underneath the gearbox of Curly, and he is fluttering between winning the race and not winning the race. That's how close it is. Nigel, the former ALR world champion, in 5th position. He has never won a race in silver. He has won 7 Grand Prix in gold in his career. We got Baz in 6th position, New Potato in 7th, Bradfield 8th, Wilson 9th, FIFA Beefy in 10th position. Then we're at the twilight of this Grand Prix. I have no earthly idea who's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Dylan is saying Gordo is on a mission. He is, isn't he? He's on a mission now to go for this Grand Prix win. He has to disappear 3 seconds up the road as well. Once he passes and catches Maldonado, as the great Murray Walker says, so catches one thing, passing is quite another. Then coming across the line once again. Then 5 more laps to go the Grand Prix. Gordo's all over the back of Maldonado. Is he going for it? He's going for it into turn 1. Then he takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. He sent it. Now has he got the pace then to pull out for Maldonado? And remember, I think that Gordo then get on the green stuff there. Maldonado dropping down to 2nd position, but she's still technically in the lead of the Grand Prix. Troy is dropping back behind Curly at the moment. So Troy is starting to lose time then, isn't he? In that Renner then, and wonder if that's a lap too many for the is that a lap too many then for the soft tires and virtual safety car. What is occurring? I don't know what's occurring, to be honest. No, they're just letting the drivers through then, and TK coming in the pits and having an absolute nightmare of a race, isn't he? In the Alpha Male. What a shame that from TK then. He was looking very strong, isn't he? So this virtual safety car, you have to be careful though. You cannot get on the power too early there, because you will cost yourself a drive-through penalty there, and it's going to be very much about then. It's going to be very much said about keeping your cool, isn't it? Gordo then is just coming into the chicane as well. Then, so we're just waiting to get going once again. And this is going to be a great. And then we're back racing here. DRS has been enabled. No drive-through penalties. Good stuff all around. Then, so we're now on lap 32. Then, so now hopefully, so that virtual safety car has really helped Gordo actually extend his lead there to a 2nd. Then, Curly is now 1.9 seconds back. Troy is dropping into the clutches of Nigel. Then, so those soft tires are really starting to struggle. I reckon this race might come back into the hands of this man, Curly Red, here in the Canadian Grand Prix. Is a gamer is dropping down the order, and he's lost out to Billet. He's done 12 laps on those tires then as well. So Nigel now is starting to really put the laps in, isn't he? Troy is just in front of us at the moment. German is saying hold each other up. Also, let's go. Holding each other up. Then also, let's go Haas team as well. Yes, Gordo is leading the Grand Prix in the Haas. Great stuff indeed. Then for Gordo, is the gap is up to 1.2 seconds. Curly is now at 1.6 seconds back. Then Troy is dropping into the clutches of Nigel. He is struggling on those tires there, isn't he? Are those tires then? Those tires turn to the grade. Then it looks like it. As Troy is a sitting duck. I feel. Look at this. Then he is. Nigel's up in the 4th position. Then Troy dropping down the order, and he's down into 5th position then, and Baz is going to be next on the radar. So Troy is the only man what am I trying to say? I don't even know anymore. Yes, there's a New Potato is up into 6th position, and he's just got past Baz's next target is Troy. Now is New Potato also going to get himself in this battle as well. Absolutely mega stuff indeed. Then lap 33 out of 35, he's got a 3-second penalty though of New Potato. So let's take a look at the penalties once again then. It is 9 seconds worth of penalties now for New Patel. That's going to cost him in this race. The Welsh Maldonado is currently a 2nd away at the moment there from Gordo. She is still within the race win though. Curly is also still within the race win as well. This is going to be a 10-10 to an incredible Grand Prix here in Canada. Absolutely mega stuff. Detroit is really struggling, isn't he? As they were going down into the hairpin, but it's no dice. So once again then, New Potato does have a 9-second worth of penalty penalties, doesn't he? So he's going to be dropping down like a stone, unfortunately, with just 3 laps to go in the Grand Prix. Gordo leads, but he has a 6-second penalty. Serious Russia's got past Ayrton. New Potato is up in the 5th position, passes the Renault car, and now we got Baz all over the back of Troy as well. Troy's just dropping down like a stone. What is going on? He's run out of tires, hasn't he? I think he's run out of tires, surely. Troy hasn't, because he was quite quick, but unfortunately he's pushed those soft tires maybe a lap too far. Gordo is still got an advantage at the moment though over Welshman. Another second to last lap of the Grand Prix here in Canada. What an incredible race, and this silver race is going down in history as one of the instant classics of ALR, isn't it? Amazing stuff indeed. Then once again Silver put on an absolute clinic. Then Sam has just asked, what are the penalties? Let's take a look, my good sir. 6 seconds worth of penalties between Gordo, 3 seconds for Welshman, another 3 seconds for New Potato, for Curly. Nigel's on 6, 9 seconds for we got a racing point off the circuit. 9 seconds for New Potato, and he's right underneath the rear wing of Nigel, and then we got Troy with no penalties to him, but he looks like he's got no tyres either, has he? As we accelerate out of the hairpin as well. New Potato is through and up in the 4th position, and he's past Nigel. He's got to find 3 seconds, so does he? And New Potato does. He is absolutely flying at this stage of the Grand Prix, isn't he? He's really going for all in the Grand Prix, isn't it? The final lap of the Canadian Grand Prix, and I still have no earthly idea who's going to win this Grand Prix. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go in the Canadian Grand Prix. Troy is down in 7th now. Is Baz has moved up into 6th position as well. Bradfield in 8th position there. As Tango saying, Curly is catching fast from Gurman, and Tango saying it's a Welsh win at the moment. Then as Sean Anderson's got past Ayrton as well. As Ayrton's miserable day. To be fair to Ayrton, he's doing a great. He's only done 3 seconds worth of penalties right at the beginning. Good stuff indeed there for Ayrton. Unfortunately, he would get no points then for his efforts here tonight. Then and look at this. So then here, look at these. They're already concertining up then with 1 lap to go in the Grand Prix. Gordo is leading with Maldonado in 2nd, and they've got 2 more break-in points to go. They've done 1 of them now. Accelerates on the way. Bradfield's got past Troy as well. He's dropping down quite profusely now. And then Gordo coming then up into the final turn there as well. Look at all these drivers that they're harvesting away, aren't they? And into the final turn then for the 35th and final time then. And Gordo comes out then. Who is going to win then? I think it's going to be Welsh Maldonado, is it? Welsh Gordo cross line first, but Maldonado wins the Canadian Grand Prix. What a magnificent performance there. That's our first Grand Prix win on a very apt day as well, isn't it? Of course, it's International Women's Day, and what a way to win for Maldonado. She wins her first Grand Prix in ALR. What an incredible Grand Prix. Curly in 2nd position. Troy has gone back up to 3rd then with a lack of penalties. Gordo in 5th. Oh, absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. Dylan Nerve with clapping the hands there. Gordo is not happy, but I think 5th position is a very good end result there. But magnificent stuff indeed. New Patel then, of course, once he was very quick on this day. Was very quick, wasn't he? I think that he might be just thinking about. We might be thinking about if, but maybe say if he didn't damage the car with his battle with Troy, he might have been in there, mightn't he? But unfortunately, the F1 spelled backwards is if, isn't it? And unfortunately today, it wasn't his day, but it was this woman's day. It was Maldonado taking her first ever Grand Prix win of her ALR career. Nigel gets the draw today then. I cannot argue with that. Absolutely amazing stuff indeed. As we've got Blatant Race Error flying the flag then for Canada, as great stuff indeed. And there's also 2 black flags as well. Gordo, as Gordo saying that penalty cost me there. He's absolutely got that. Tango, great win, amazing drive, great stuff indeed. Then you drove great race there, Gordo. Nigel saying whoop. Wilson saying I'll take that for this crappy of a track there. Well done, Becca. Nigel saying not a podium, but this is great then. Well done to top 10. Great entertainment indeed then. Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from the Canadian Grand Prix. Maldonado won her first ever Grand Prix there. Fantastic stuff from 6 on the grid. Curly in 2nd today. One incredible drive from both those 2 drivers. It's a Welsh 1-2. Troy then with damage limitation there. No penalties at all for Troy and extensively in the World Championship. Nigel in a really good 4th position there. Gordo in 5th. New Potato in 6th position. Baz in 7th. Bradfield is 8th. FIFA in 9th position. Wilson in 10th. Ayrton just outside the points and length position. 12th position. Sean Hammers. That went very wrong for Sean Hammers, didn't it? Serious Mushroom 13th. Philip 14th. Gamer 15th. TK 16th. D Ashley 17th. Retirements was BP, Pains and Steve. Then unfortunately called it the Canadian Grand Prix. And of course, next week we do head back to Europe, don't we, for the French Grand Prix at the less than loved Paul Ricard circuit there. But I gotta say then, I don't want to go to the Paul Ricard circuit after this Grand Prix. Absolutely mega stuff indeed. Then now the drivers are in the gantry, and we're going to talk to a first-time winner. I think she's going to be over the moon with this result. Welsh Maldonado or Pastor. What an incredible win there today! Absolutely fantastic stuff. Talk us through your feelings.
It's alright. I mean, I'll take it. Yeah, I'm more chuffed about how many points Renault were getting, to be honest with you, because I think we're now on top of the constructors. But yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it at all. But yeah, when I saw Gordo add that extra few seconds at the end, I have never taken the corner so cautiously in my life. Trying not to get, because I was on my last warning, it's trying not to get that last warning, but I'll take it.
When you came out for that final stint and you seen your teammate in trouble there, did you feel that this was your opportunity to win your first Grand Prix? Was that then where you realised that you're the favourite to win this?
I knew I was a favourite to win when Emerson kept blinking, being in my ear saying, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna win," right? Putting so much pressure on me, right, to chase that. I don't know. I just wanted to finish, to be honest, rather than winning. But yeah, it was. Yeah, instant race. And
I've got to say, a very good team player there as well, because you mentioned the Renault straight away. You didn't even think about yourself then, which is very unusual for a driver. Very humble indeed then. But yes, Renault will now be top of the Constructors' Championship. Did Troy let you through down into the? Did Troy let you through today, or was that just a overtake?
I don't know, I think it was half and half. I think he had a bad exit, but I think he didn't really fight it. So if you did, thank you very much.
And when you went out in the lead then, you didn't dart off into distance like I thought you would. Was you just saving your tyres, was it? Was it on the limit for the last stint on those soft tyres?
No, it's because I was absolutely crapping myself. Because I was taking every corner, so blinking cautiously. But yeah, I don't know. I should have pushed a bit more, but yeah, it'll do. I got the win at the end, so I was right.
And of course, you've broken through that glass ceiling now. Then, so what are your aims then for the remainder of the season? Then you've got that one win. Do you want to? Are you expecting any more now going forward?
No, I just want to finish up to the wall. That's what I want to do. I'll take me finishing the race. But yeah, so hopefully, but I wouldn't put any bets on myself.
Fantastic stuff. Well deserved today as well. Cool as a cucumber. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then Welsh Maldonado getting her first Grand Prix win today. Absolutely mega stuff indeed. Let's come to Curly, who was in second today. Then Curly, let's go back to qualifying first then, because that qualifying lap was absolutely outstanding today. Then you're getting your first pole position of your career.
Yes. I don't have words. I mean, that pole position, I had my dad next to me. And I think we went silent for the whole lap. There's a few corners that I may have closed my eyes for, but got the lap done. Yeah, first pole position. I can't believe that, let alone another podium. But yeah, wow.
And it was a fantastic lap as well. I think you were free because you was cruelly robbed, wasn't you, in Australia? Well, I'd say robbed. Gamer just about edged you, but here today, then you had a nice margin of 0.3 of a second in there, so that sounded like an absolutely cracker of lap. Going into the race, then, I heard that you had a wing damage after the first lap. Then was that contact? Was it between yourself and? Was it Troy Was it Troy? I can't remember.
No contact with another driver. It was the wall. Yeah, that was just because I think on the formation lap, I was going a bit too fast. So I slowed down a bit, and then when I was trying to back up the pack, because it seemed like I think it was a Mercedes, was holding a lot of people back. So I thought, well, my tyres are going to be cold by the time we get on the grid. I started to do a bit of a wiggle, and then the AI took over. But as for the start, I probably had one of the best starts. Me and Troy were in practice earlier, and exactly that happened. I got a better start than him, although he was on pole for the practice. Yeah, well, it's not nice seeing a Renault behind you, especially Troy's. But yeah, the front wing damage really damaged my race. But I mean, I can't be more happy than this. Me and Becca 1 and 2 basically.
Yeah, it was a really good race as well, and I think we was debating in the chat then whether it's going to be whether it's your strategy was going to work or Becca's. It was quite close there, and you was gaining on Becca and Gordo with just like 1 lap to go. Do you feel if the Grand Prix was an extra lap or two, you may have got the win today?
Yes, but also when we pitted, the intention was to come out in clear air, which I think we did. I think when I came out of the pit, it was TK on hard who actually just slipped in front of me, held me up quite a bit. So I'm actually happy I got second, to be honest with you, because it could have gone a lot worse. I did do a few moves into corners that I didn't think were possible, so I definitely impressed myself today.
Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. You've equalled your best result of your ALR career for second as well then from Australia and here today as well. Well done, Curly. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. And let's go to is Troy in the party? I've got to say, I was actually looking down. I hope Troy is in the party. Hello. I must say then, looks like you were falling back, and it was becoming a bit of a difficult day towards the end of that race then. But once again, then you're as clean as a whistle. There, no penalties at all in that race, and that elevated you back up to third position today. But could we just go back to the final stint now? Was it your tires that were just giving up there because you were really struggling?
Yeah, that was basically it. I pitted too early. I had to do something against, or at least try to do something against the guys ahead, but. Yeah, it just wasn't enough, and my tires fell off 1 or 2 laps earlier than expected, really. So yeah, I was just letting people through, trying to stick within their DRS and try to let them lead me forward and try to get in, to just get within the gaps I had, since everyone had penalties and stuff.
Did you know about the drivers with penalties? Did Jeff inform you? Because normally Jeff is quite useless with me, but he might not like me. So did Jeff tell you about who had what penalties and stuff?
No, I don't know. When they updated the game a couple of months ago, you can now see on the top left corner exactly how many seconds everyone has, and I just saw it was full of penalties for all the drivers ahead. So. Yeah, I was just trying to stick with them as much as possible and hoping to gain a couple of positions because of that, really.
Aha, and that's why you're a driver and I'm not, because I completely forgot about that. And then the race overall, then you finished third today, and that's another podium to your name. That'll be your 6th podium of your season, and you extended your lead in the championship as well. It was a difficult day today, and in Baku as well, there where you finished. I say only 4th. That's still a good result. But are you happy with your day's work overall? Do you feel that a second or maybe even the win was on?
Yeah, it was definitely on, but. At the same time, it could have been a lot worse with that collision, and yeah, I think I still stayed it up and did the best out of the situation. So I'm still happy, and yeah, I'm happy for my teammate to grab the win, and yeah, I'm still extending in the drivers' championship. I think we're taking the lead in the constructors, so yeah, it's still a very good day for the team and myself.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Thank you to all our podium sitters tonight. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. And I'm going to need another lie down then, because I've got to say, Canada was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Thank you for joining us tonight. And I've got to say, it was very popular tonight. And I think it was because of our popular podium sitters, and absolutely mega stuff indeed. We will be back in a week's time as we are going to France then, as on les deux fromages, as they say over there. We'll be live Sunday night, 7:30 UK time then. It'll be round 10 of season 5 of Gold then. Emerson has extended his lead in the championship. So has Troy as well. Renault are looking dominant in both constructors championships as well as we head to the halfway mark. See you tomorrow. See you next week. Goodbye.